always talk about how he would never cheat on his wife.
No way.
We learned that shit too.
So like,
Human beings are horrifying.
so like the girl, her name was the dude's Ian. The dude was also the guy I asked for like help on Smotters, like for like because he's from New York. So I asked him about like New York shit.
Oh.
This was before
This
like.
was the dude that's crazy. Okay.
So.
Fucking Italians. What are you gonna do?
Oh, can I talk
working, it's
about?
working.
Oh,
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I don't think anybody. Yeah, it's live.
could you turn it down? Could
You can turn it down on
is that on my?
your
end?
thing.
Is that making it louder or softer?
Louder.
Wait,
Make
wait,
su-
stop. Just find your wire.
I
What's that?
can't. I
Literally.
can't. Oh, I found it. I found
Okay,
it.
so this is episode 2 of Ultrasound. Anthony's out on a call right now, but we are going to talk about Dvorak, because we didn't get to talk about it last time, and the songs of Leonard Cohen, which is another one of Elijah's picks.
You're welcome.
Lucky 2 in a row.
I like having it all the way down. I don't like being able to hear like my own voice like in the sound.
Can you turn that mine down a little bit?
I kinda like
the
mine.
other way.
This
way.
that way? There you go.
Wait,
So we're just gonna
turn it
sit
up,
here
wait,
and
can
talk
you
a little
turn it
bit.
up a little bit?
You can talk into the mic if you want, Kate.
Okay.
Kate, you want to talk into the mic?
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
2
I
viewers.
won't
What's up,
say the
viewers?
names. But
Oh,
oh,
it's adjusting my camera, bro.
no, it's not a
You
good
gotta watch out,
podcast
bro.
conversation.
What's not a good
Damn, I really
podcast?
wanna hear it.
I wanted to tell it.
You
It's
should.
crazy.
You should. No one. There's no viewers.
Hey, yo, what's up, Nick?
Okay, here we'll play.
It's-
Waiting for you to
it's
come back
Nick
to
and
Vegas,
Jalen.
bro.
Yo,
We'll play telephone.
It's Nick.
But it's gonna go on YouTube and then
Get
it's gonna
back
be
to
there
Vegas,
forever.
dude.
We can edit it out of YouTube.
Let me see. Which one is this one? This one. Say it. Talking to me again, Kate.
I can edit this
Yo,
part
yo,
out.
yo,
You can edit
yo,
this
Yo yo yo.
Kind of
Uh,
fucked up to share people's information.
Do you want
like
this? Do you want this headphone?
But
for
they
now?
wouldn't. They're not gonna watch. Okay. Should I just say it?
Yeah, we don't even.
What?
And my excuse is that I'm inebriated. I'm not.
What the fuck is that?
Dude, that's a lot
drunk.
of people's excuse.
Oh, inebriated.
Stupid ass.
I am
Wait,
stupid,
no,
Elwood.
it's actually-
Stupid
I'm
ass.
glad you finally
No, no,
noticed.
you
I
don't
feel like
know.
you're learning more about me in this
Okay,
moment.
they don't know.
Might as well be telling a joke.
Okay, it is.
Hey, tell the story.
Okay, so I had these 2 coworkers, and basically, like, we had all worked together, like the same, like 10 cohort, like same group of people for like a year and a half. We're all like pretty like friendly with each other. Everyone like enjoyed working with each other, and then like we reached a point where my boss went on maternity leave for 2 months because she was having a baby, and our lead supervisor basically became the manager. And he was supposed to like take over the store and stuff like that. And it was kind of rough while she was gone. There was another supervisor who ended up leaving, and we got kind of short on staff. And at the same time, maybe like a month before our boss was supposed to come back, we started to realize that him and another coworker were like exhibiting strange behavior to be having towards fellow coworkers. Some girls brought up some things about it, and then I just noticed like some strange things when I saw them work together and just like the way they talked. And we confronted them about it, and we basically said like, we're not trying to accuse you of anything, but if something's going on that you know shouldn't be going on, cease the activity, you know?
Cease the
And
activity. What the hell?
the supervisor happened to be someone who's like rather middle-aged, and the associate's someone who's like closer to our age. And the supervisor like has a family, and basically I came into work one day and ended up finding out that like they had been like having relations in the store, and they both got like fired like on the spot about it. And it was very frustrating. Above anything, it was like annoying because like basically we all knew, and we tried to like save them from it, and they just like they wouldn't listen to us. And it was like they tried to gaslight us too. They really like hardcore tried to gaslight us. Like it was obvious that like something was going on between them, and they just like tried to make us seem like we were like stupid or prude or whatever, or crude for thinking that like something like that was occurring. But like it actually been happening for like a long period of time.
Wow.
So I just got like a text from like a coworker now, and it's been like 2 months since they both got fired. And the girl basically like put something on her like Snapchat story that was like a pregnancy test. Yeah.
It was positive. Wait, it was positive.
Bro, why would
I
you
don't
post
know.
it if it was negative?
She put it on like her Snapchat though.
Some people would
Wait,
do
so you
that.
got a text from the person that
Fr-
wasn't that
no,
good?
no, from like
Oh, just a different person.
like our other coworkers. Our,
Brandon's here. What's up, Brandon? He said, "What dot the dot fuck dot all caps."
yeah. It was like
That's like super like. So
the some of our other. Oh.
Say it into the mic real quick.
I have a meme for this situation.
watching?
But I don't know.
We got 4 viewers.
Yeah.
Nick is here. Brandon's here. What the fuck's up, guys?
The audio.
What the fuck is that, bro? That's fucking traumatizing, bro.
I'm like, where does this audio come
And then Elwood Jalen's in the chat. She says hi.
Yo.
What's
Hi,
up,
yeah.
Jalen?
So that's unfortunate if they're like love child.
And you had
Oh,
to
God, yeah, that's horrible.
you had to clean up the lockers.
And like, oh, that you know what? I'm gonna say that too, and I hope like this justifies it. If you wiped any type of your fucking cum on my locker,
Whoa.
you're
that
a
happened?
fucking piece of shit.
Did that happen, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? Did that happen, bro?
No, it is.
Wait, what's up? What's up?
Damn, where it
Like
hurts.
2 days later, the one girl, she texts one of our other employees, and she's like, "Make sure you clean up X, Y, and Z's locker." And like, I don't know how the fuck if you guys fucked against that.
Yo.
I don't know how like you managed to get in that
Bruh.
position. If you managed to get in that position, like more power to you. But I don't know what fucking reason you would have to do that.
You got jizz on your locker?
If you put jizz on my locker, you are a decrepit human being. Okay?
Bro.
If you didn't do it, okay. And if you put any type of fucking shit in that food, when we had the potluck, fuck you. I'm not
Bro.
saying you did,
What,
but if you did, fuck you.
Okay, bro, what'd you do to deserve cum in your locker, bro? Karma, what goes around comes around, bro. What did you do?
This wasn't your locker that got accused, right?
She just said like make sure you clean the lockers and make sure she said it wasn't just my locker, it was 2 other people's lockers, but she's like make sure you clean their lockers in particular. The thing about it, my locker's all the way on the top.
How the fuck?
And he's like almost as tall as she is. So like I don't not unless like
Are they both short?
the only way my locker could have got dirty literally is if like they wiped like liquid onto the locker. I don't think they
when
could,
they
they
were
couldn't like
done.
fuck against the top of my locker.
Imagine being so
But-
horrible.
They're like, wait, give me one second.
Like, what do I do with
Oh.
this?
They like,
Uh,
they try and find the thing.
and the
I
chat-
have like a right to be upset
In
about
the-
that.
in
And then
the-
you fucked up my schedule for the rest of the work week too.
the Italian guy.
Yeah, the dude I kind of like.
Well, I mean, I
he
kinda-
helped me with X.
I appreciate that because like X was like a show stealer and smarter.
Yeah, thank you. And he told me a lot of interesting stories. I just wish he wasn't like
Didn't
lying
get-
to me
didn't get
half
his-
the time he was
didn't
talking
get his
to me.
DNA on your locker.
Yeah, if you did that, man, fuck you.
Yeah.
But
Let me see. The chat's got a few things to say about this.
uh-oh.
Jalen said, "Why you got that meme like on demand?" Then she said, "Huh?" All caps. I think she joined in kind of late. Brandon sent a laughing emote. Then Jalen said, "If anyone blew their load on my locker, I think I'd have to detonate the place for real."
I wanted to quit.
Then Brandon said, "Actually
should've
wild." Laughing emote. Just please laugh at Elijah's uncomfort.
I should have quit.
Sorry.
You should. You still can quit. What the fuck?
I can. I
Why
need to
don't you
find.
go-
You know
what
what?
I'm gonna do.
I just put in my 2 weeks.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's official.
What are you gonna do?
Draw. Draw, edit, play guitar.
Okay.
Try to get some projects made with you guys, bro. What the fuck?
Okay.
Donkey.
And podcast.
How are we gonna get money
Financial
though?
security.
I'm
Look
gonna
at
dr-
financial
alright,
security. You gotta put
We're gonna
yourself
start.
in the fucking burner.
You have to put the.
You gotta put yourself in the burner.
Spit.
You gotta put yourself in the burner so that you can rise up like a phoenix.
I agree that I'm better than getting jizz on my locker.
You are, bro. You're worth more than minimum wage.
There we go.
That's it.
Mm,
Drink that Pacifico.
Pacificos are nice,
Drink
but
that liquor.
that was like annoying. So now like if they are having like a love baby, like I don't know what to say to that. That's kind of gross. It's kind of weird. I feel bad for the family a little bit. They're probably never gonna see this. If they do see this,
He deserves that.
He probably does
He
deserve
deserves to have a
that.
fucking child if he's cheating on his fucking wife. That fucking dickhead.
oh gosh, that was like. He told some
Fucking
funny
dick.
fucking stories though. One time,
I'm sure
he said
does.
one time he auditioned for The Hangover because he used to work at this club that The Hangover was shooting at, and he auditioned for a scene where a guy gets kicked in the nuts. But like,
Did he get kicked in the nuts? And that
so like every guy was supposed to audition, and they weren't supposed to like actually get kicked in the nuts. You know, it was like a
Yeah.
fake kick. But like he was the guy, and like she's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. They like rehearsed it one time, and then they like captured it on camera.
Nice.
And when they were capturing it on camera, something happened, and like the actress who was supposed to do it fucked up and like actually kicked him in the dick.
Fuck yeah.
And he said he like pissed blood that night.
Bro, see, that dude just got bad karma.
So yeah, he's had some fucked up shit happen to him.
People like that. He kind of.
Thanks for the interesting
He
stories.
deserves it probably.
I had a feeling like deep down, he might have been in the fucking what's it called?
The mafia.
No,
We got 5 viewers, by the way.
not
5
the
viewers.
mafia. The
Oh,
witness
shit.
protection
Oh.
program.
Cinco.
So if you're in the witness
Cinco.
protection
Cinco.
program, please don't fuck me over. But if you do, fuck you. Yeah, because he was like,
Hey,
from-
Johnny, what's up?
he was from New York, and he just talked about like it could be utter bullshit.
Yo,
he
Mikey,
would be
what's
a
up?
great actor. He would actually be a really good actor. It could be bullshit, but like he basically sounded like
Oh,
he
man.
worked like
You
for
got
like
you got to tell
some
Mikey this story real quick.
organized crime.
Like a shorthand version of it.
We should make this guy a famous actor, so are both part of his success and his demise as they find this podcast and realize he's a shitbag.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, shit.
Tell Mikey
time
this story real
sense.
quick.
Basically, I had these two coworkers. One of them was like 15 years older than the other one, and we basically found out that like they were messing around, but we didn't like say anything about it. We confronted them about it. We said like, if you're doing this, stop it, and they didn't stop. They ended up getting fired, and then like 3 days after they got fired, the girl, she texts one of our other workers, and she's like, make sure you clean Elijah's locker.
Oh, they did say your locker?
They said my locker and two other people's lockers.
Oh, I'm so
That's so
sorry.
gross.
So-
Gross.
I didn't clean the locker. Someone else cleaned it for me.
Yeah.
I didn't go into the break room that day. But if his fucking Brooklyn jizz, fucking goatee, cigarette smoking,
Hey,
whack
This
pussy
guy had a
eating
family.
mouth.
this guy had a family. Yeah.
He did have a family. He had a wife and 2 children.
What a
And
dickhead.
he would actually, this might be good for the girl who's hearing it,
The locker.
or well, she's not gonna hear it. But when I
For
can-
real, right? Fuck. What
What-
are the names? Full names.
No,
What are
no,
the
no,
full
no,
names?
no.
Right
That's
here, right
fucked
now,
Okay,
live.
this shit, you know that
Twitch,
actress-
Backcountry TV, August 11th, 2022. What's the full names? TOS. Nah, fuck no. We don't get TOS. We're too small, dude.
But
Say the full names.
I came up to him in private and talked to him, and it's like, yo, it looks like, you know, like you're like probably like fucking her, you know, and you know you can get in trouble. And he literally started to like make fun of her physical appearance.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, he was like, he like started talking about like how her mouth looked ugly and comparing her to his wife and saying like, he was literally like, you've seen my wife. You really think I would go for her? Are you like crazy?
Whoa.
He was saying this at the same time after he had been fucking her and continued to fuck her and went on to impregnate
And
her.
he was gaslighting you.
He was gaslighting me. He was like hardcore gaslighting me. And I knew he was gaslighting me, but like, you wouldn't think someone would lie. You wouldn't want to think that your coworker of like a year and a half who you're kind of like friends with is lying to you.
That's pretty fucked up.
Your greatest role is-
I know. Like, I literally asked him like, I put him in the letter that I sent to UNLV for Smotters. I put his name in there. So if you want to see his name, go like, you can find it.
For real.
Nah, they're not smart enough to do that.
Nah. Yeah, they're dumb.
know him, but I was fired.
But if
I was fucking this girl at my work, and he just kind of worked there. He was always kind of, he was interesting. He was always bugging in my business.
He was a COVID denier.
Was he really?
He was a hardcore COVID denier. He would try to justify why like it was like a pandemic with like TikToks that had like 7,000 views.
Pandemic.
Yeah, he was like one of those type of dudes. Microchip guy. What else about him?
Let's see.
Great
What's that?
person.
Yeah, like hold it like fucking
Comedy
like
gold.
this, like this, like this. Let's see in the chat. He said, "Oh God," and then he said, "No." That was Brandon.
I feel like I'm having deja vu. Okay.
Remember when this podcast was supposed to be about music?
Yeah. Well, we're waiting for Anthony.
Nah, but like, I enjoy this more.
You want another beer?
This is like some wizard shit.
This is
Speaking of wizards,
shit.
dude, show them the wizard that you painted.
Oh, John
for-
started a live video.
Cause Johnny's doing a D&D thing this weekend.
Yeah.
Mikey's gonna be there, and his character's a wizard. So check this out. Dude, Mikey's been painting these figurines. It's fucking crazy.
Oh,
shit.
How dare you
That
let
looks
Mikey
really
say
good.
wizard?
How long did that take?
He did it first. I couldn't help. It's not my fault. I'm a monkey.
Be careful planning.
What's your character's name?
Bro, my name is like fuck. I forget. It was like Bobo Sukan or some shit like that. I'm a monkey with a sword, and I can shoot fire out of my hands.
what was it?
What kind of class? What's your class?
I don't know. Whatever, Johnny.
Arcia.
Johnny's kind of making his own rules for the D&D.
You're a wizard though. Like, what's he?
You're a monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're like a warrior.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you're a monkey.
Woo, 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 woo,
Monkey
woo.
mode.
Don't talk about that. We don't talk about monkey mode. Do you remember monkey mode? That shit was traumatizing as fuck, bro.
He's like monkey mode, and Johnny started doing this fucking thing, man. He kept it up for like a year. It always freaked the fuck out of you.
Bro, I hated it, bro. It was just like
Was
every time I saw it happening, I was like, wow, dude, mankind can really just turn back to monkey anytime they want.
It was just Johnny acting like a monkey, dude. That's all it was.
No, but he would come up to me and be like, and he'd like come up to me, bro. It fucking sucked. And I was high as fuck. I just wasn't ready for
You
monkey
weren't
mode.
ready for the bananas.
Okay, how about you guys get high as fuck, and I'll let Johnny do monkey mode on you guys, and you tell me how it feels, okay? It's
Okay.
fucking, it's like threatening, bro. It's threatening.
Would he
You're
like?
Gordy?
It's worse than
What
Gordy.
was it?
Worse than
It was
Gordy?
worse than Gordy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Let me see. Let's see. Brandon said D&D, hell yeah, and then Jalen said, you got to bring that Gordy energy. And she said, man's true roots are ooh, Then we learned ABC's downfall of man, for real.
Brandon and I used to play D&D together.
No way.
Yep.
You played D&D?
Yep.
I've never
in,
played
in
it.
high school.
This will be my first time playing it.
Chokey. It was so sad the way Chokey died, Brandon. I'm sorry about that. But
Inside joke.
Did you fuck him over? I mean, it's not like you fucked him over.
no, but we had a campaign and like his character was really fucking cool. And his character got like the short end of the stick. He probably said something.
What happened? He said, fuck shit, true man, rip Chokey.
And then I had to kill like some pirate queen. And I
What?
rolled. It was kind of cool. Like she killed basically him. And then my character went on like a suicide mission to kill her. And I wasn't supposed to like kill her. It like was going to be really tough. And I rolled like 3 nat 20s in a row on like when I was like attacking her.
Mhm.
And I like ended up like, it was cool. It made me believe in God.
But yeah. Oh man, Mikey, I know you don't keep up too much with like the indie band scene and stuff. Oh wait, no, we can't talk about this.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
no,
podcast.
no,
Never
no,
mind.
no.
I'll have to
Later.
I'll tell you on
Later.
Saturday.
Later.
I'll tell you when I see you on Saturday.
What'd Brandon
later.
say? What'd Brandon say?
Brandon said, "Clap, clap. I'm glad he avenged my man's choke."
We used to play with this kid that was like we were all the same age, and then there was this one kid that went to our church that was like 10 or 11, but he was like into the stuff, so we would play with him, and he would like rage quit.
That's
on
so
D&D.
funny.
Because
I love rage quitters.
So good.
Huh? No, he would like. The whole thing was like he made like 3 characters within the span of like a month or two because he
They
kept,
kept
having them
dying?
die in stupid fucking ways.
Did you who was like the dungeon master?
A friend that we went to church with. They got really into like Pathfinder,
Oh.
and yeah, this kid, he would just make like the dumbest decisions with his characters, and then his characters would die, and he would like cry about it.
That's so funny.
But Yeah.
Because you die and you're dead forever, right?
Yo,
Yeah, the character can't come back to life. But he would do like shit that was like retarded. And then
Dude, Johnny showed me this one video sometime in the past week, of this like fucking middle-aged guy who's been keeping up the same D&D game for the past 40 years.
bro.
The same campaign. Like literally people will fly in from like out of state, out of country just to be a part of this one dude's campaign.
What edition is
That
it?
is
Like,
so
what rules does he use?
Oh, I don't know. It was just a video. What's
Oh.
it?
The old guy, it's a full homebrew system.
his own thing.
Yeah.
It's fun sometimes, but like I don't know, I didn't get as into it as they did.
Right.
But it'd be probably fun to do if I was intoxicated.
Yeah, that's
I
why I'm
would
looking
think
forward
about
to
it.
it. I'm gonna be like getting drunk.
That might be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
might.
think I'd
I'll
get
probably
more
miss that
invested.
FTC show.
Huh?
Probably miss that FTC show.
Aw.
But you should probably record it.
I'll get there late, but Anthony might go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I liked your singing tonight, Norby.
Oh, thank you.
You record that.
Yeah, fucking.
We need to have a band stream.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to get Pat over here and you and John just jam and have like a St. Anne stream.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. And then I'll have the microphone hooked up for Pat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he can sing and do the drums, which is hard.
He's good at it though. He kind of just like he doesn't seem like it bothers him or anything.
That's good. That's good. There's one band, Elwood, Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt is
yeah.
literally just like a bassist and like a fucking drummer.
Yeah, that's it.
Who sings?
The drummer.
Really?
Yeah, he's got this mask. His Instagram is called Chippendales. He's got this mask, and like the mask has like a fucking like walkie-talkie built into it, like so it's right up against his mouth like this. And he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Because that's all you need.
Yeah,
All you need.
it's
is
pretty dense music.
I mean, like, if you think about the White Stripes, are kind of the same thing, except it was one person.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Jack White the whole time.
I hate that guy.
You hate Jack White?
I mean, what does he do?
He did
What do you
everything.
mean, what's he do?
No, I mean, like, what did he do?
Like, he played guitar.
No, but I mean, like, what did he do?
Oh, like for music?
Yeah.
He made
wore-
Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, he made Seven Nation Army.
Okay.
Think about that.
And
I
You're-
kind of like the White Stripes though. They got some cool songs.
Like your whole like high school career, like think about it. You remember the dun 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 dun.
dun.
yeah, I remember how much I hated that song.
Dun, dun, dun.
On
Shut the
God,
fuck
that
up.
that song sucks ass.
The first time you heard that song, you were like, dun, dun, dun,
No, the
dun.
first time I hate that song, I was like, okay.
Shut the fuck
I did
up.
the
You didn't say
100th
okay.
time I heard that song, I was like, fuck! Ah!
They got some good songs. I
Bro,
like,
you know what really like
uh,
solidified how much I hate that song was the fact that the EA put it in the Battlefield fucking 5 trailer with like a fucking dubstep and shit. That shit killed me, bro.
Bro.
I was like, fuck this shit.
You love dubstep.
No, and when I was like 13 or 12, bro, fucking Bangering the music video was pretty cool. Let's see. Brandon said, Lamau, I tried weed for the first time this week.
Oh shit.
Preferred over alcohol. Brandon,
Damn, Brandon. I
you,
didn't
how
know
could you smoke without your friend Elijah? you
Brandon.
fucking traitor.
That's very unchristian
Backstab.
of you.
And then Jalen said, Elwood, you got to show him the dick is small version of that song. What the fuck is she talking about?
Of what?
Okay, there are good White Stripes songs
Oh,
though.
there's fucking. Do you know that stupid ass podcast? The Cumtown.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube video where
Pat
they
likes Come Town.
they took the dun, dun like the Seven Nation Army track
Mm-hmm.
and they just kept like singing over it. I don't want to do it. I feel like you just have to search it up. It's like just search
Okay,
up like
I'll
Cumtown
do it.
Seven Nation Army.
Come town.
I said my dick is small. Whoa, why are you playing Wu-Tang?
What?
Oh.
What do you mean,
I
what?
wanted to listen to it while I was writing some slave stuff.
Oh.
Wu-Tang, I like that album a lot.
Can you listen and write at the same time?
If there's not too many lyrics or if it's like there's so many lyrics it doesn't even matter. Come town, my dick is small.
Yeah.
My dick.
Or you can put like Cumtown Seven Nation Army.
See, that's how I feel about like White Stripes. Every time I hear it, I just hear them saying, "My dick is small.
This is
I have a small dick."
So wait, you guys started this is a music podcast on Thursdays now?
Nah, it's on
Mm.
Sundays.
It's every other Sunday. No,
we do
so
that one too.
the movie one was already like every other Sunday, and so we just put this one in between it. So
Damn.
like they're alternating every other
Right.
Sunday.
But this week it got pushed back.
Yeah, 'cause Elijah, he wanted to do it on Thursday.
Oh, it was a guitar
Is it,
getting destroyed.
Is it? They both have like 5,000, 6,000 views.
Which?
I said my dick is small
Bruh.
and my balls are too small too.
My penis could not get hard at all unless I looked at a man.
They said my dick is small and my balls are too small too. That's how it's supposed to sound.
They said my dick is small.
They said my dick is small
Oh yeah, that's good.
and my balls are too small too. Could not get hard unless I was looking at men.
And dudes. And I've never had hard before
Because I
fucked a man.
Because I am gay.
My little ass fucking dick is small and I can't get it hard.
I got my penis
Play 300 mile per hour. 300 mile per hour torrential outpour blues.
They said my dick is small.
All right, I got 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Are you liking this? Does that,
Okay.
does that
sorry.
give you a boner, Norby?
It gives me a comedy boner for sure. All right, 300 miles per hour.
That is kind of fun. Is he gonna like? Are they gonna like do it again?
Yeah, they're gonna do it like legit though. All right.
They said my dick is small. And my balls are too small too.
Bro, I'm too drunk for this. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Wait,
I
I
can't do
wanna
it. I'm
hear
too
it.
drunk for this. No.
I want to hear.
No. Dog, you just wanted me to change it. Oh. All right.
My homie gets hard looking at the man's guy.
Try not to laugh, Norby.
See a woman's pussy, psych, no I don't.
Wanna see a woman's pussy sack? No, I don't.
Okay. What's the song?
300 mile per hour torrential outpour blues.
300 mile per hour outpour blues. Is this by the fucking White Stripes?
It's a good White Stripes.
Okay.
song.
Let me see. All right, yeah, this one's pretty good. Anthony.
Anthony.
Dvorak time.
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, you missed Seven Nation Army though.
No, you didn't miss much. Seven Nation Army sucks.
No. That version. It's really good. Alright. I said my dick is small.
This is not a bad White Stripes song.
Let's see.
I like that one song, the hardest button, the button.
Hardest button.
The hardest button,
Dun
the
it,
button.
dun it.
Okay, that's
Search up hardest button to button. It's got a good music video.
I think we should just get started on Dvorak.
Alright.
I was gonna say let's like gaslight Norby into just playing a bunch of White Stripes songs.
Please, no. Let's see what they said. Jalen said, "Come Town is so fucking funny." Brain Man. I don't know what that means.
Oh, they
Then
have
Brandon said, "Anthony!" Exclamation point!
They have an episode where they talk about Rain Man, but they just kept doing impressions of who's the Dustin Hoffman's character.
The autistic dude.
The autistic dude. Basically, they start doing like his voice, and they just keep going like, Charlie Babbitt, my dick is so big. That's it.
They've got some good clips for
They
sure.
got some good clips. I would never listen to a full episode though.
Yeah, I can't say I would either. Oh, it's loading.
Oh, it was kind of fun.
Let's see, I'm gonna refresh it real quick. Fuck, dude. It's stuck in my head now. God damn it. Bro, it's
You do like the song?
a pop song for a reason, guys.
It's not a pop song.
It kind of is.
That's called like it's like
an
a rock
anthem.
song. It's an anthem.
White Stripes was at one point considered indie, was it not?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
indie rock.
In
I
like
don't
the
wanna think about it.
90s.
Then they got big.
Did they? Did,
They're fucking big.
Did they do the song like I Fell in Love with a Girl?
Yeah.
Fell in love with
I
the
like
girl.
that song.
Fell in
That's
love
got. Have you
with
seen the
someone
music video
else.
for that?
Yeah, it's all Legos.
Yeah.
It's really
Michelle
pretty.
Gondry.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah.
is
Cool.
Hardest Button the Button. That music video too. It's like boom, boom, boom.
The
boom,
image like
boom.
goes out, right?
Yeah. It's like it's
How
just
d-
like stop motion.
Mm.
It's just them like continuously just playing like one note, but then they just keep like doubling it.
Let me get another beer.
For sure.
Bro, you just got here.
Bro, let the man get some fucking liquor.
Pacifico.
Pacifico.
Anyway,
Boy.
Dvorak.
It's been a long summer.
Yo,
It's been a long summer.
Michael Jackson could have died this summer. It's only been a
Oh,
long
we need
summer.
to do a backcountry episode where the Smotters group comes on,
Bro.
That'd be pretty funny.
and you interview them.
That'd be great.
But
I wonder how they're doing.
Then I just have like I don't know. I'd have somebody else switch the cameras. Cause Johnny is cockhead.
I think I'd have to switch the camera.
No, you can't do it.
Yeah, no, but I bring them on the podcast.
He's
for
also
you.
he also has like he's multi-dimensional. He's the boom guy.
For
I'm a
real,
boom
true,
guy, think
true,
about it.
true.
This is the filmmaker.
For real,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
See, I'll switch the cameras for you.
Okay, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would be opposed to it. Okay, so
All right, Dvorak.
let's get started.
Let me pull my notes out.
For
Did any of you
I
have
guess it's,
like a relationship to Dvorak before this?
oh, so we gotta get John.
Oh shit!
I'll
Is
go
he
grab
sleeping?
it. I'll go
Yeah.
John fucks with Dvorak.
Yeah. Me and John have a lot of history with Dvorak together, actually.
Boom, 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 boom.
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please.
Dun, 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 dun.
How are you feeling right now, Elwood?
About what?
Physically.
Physically, I'm doing fine.
Oh, Mikey, you missed it. We had a group workout. It was lit.
Bro, fucking everybody was doing this fucking. He has this thing called six-pack promise on his phone, and it's literally just like this shit we would do at UNLV with Ben, but like it's like an app that Athlete X makes. Remember Athlete X? Yeah. It's that dude's app, so it's just like a fucking brutal fucking workout. John.
Hello.
Alright, for sure.
Peace out, Mikey.
I'll see you Saturday. Yeah. For sure.
I do occasionally.
Yeah. Take it easy, Mikey. Yeah, where the fuck is your wizard? Didn't you put him like over there or some shit? Yeah, okay.
So we're talking about Dvorak right now, and John, we'd like to open the floor to you right now. What's your relationship with Dvorak?
Is this the first? Am I saying the first piece on a
No,
Dvorak?
no, just
Like, has there been anything else said?
no,
about
no,
him?
just
Oh
talk,
my
man.
gosh. I'm not sure how big Dvorak's impact on music has been. Like, he's no Beethoven. He's
Sure.
no Mozart.
Sure.
But he's Dvorak, and he's one of my favorites. Partially just because of this fourth movement of this symphony, because it's an epic end of it, and it's crazy. He came to the United States when he reached, I don't know, he came to be like an orchestra guy in New York, and then he got really, really homesick, and this is how he wrote the New World Symphony. And the orchestra teacher would say that the last note in the piece that holds on for a long, long, long time, I think you'd know, so you'd know because you'd have to hold that note.
Yeah, I'm the third. I'm the third of that chord, and if you didn't know, it's a little bit of music theory here. Third is kind of like the golden note when it comes to chords. Kind of tells you a lot about it. You know, if it's a major, minor. because a fifth can really be anything, you know. A third doesn't even necessarily tell you like not just a major minor thing, but like fifths can just be in a whole bunch of different keys. You know what I mean? Like you take a C major, C to G, that's a fifth. D to A, that's a fifth. E to B, that's a fifth. What's that third though? That third tells you the secret to everything. And so yeah, in this fourth movement, it ends in that chord, you know, and you hold that. I just say that too as a horn player. Kind of had that key note there, you know what I mean? Also too, it's like it was just me and the woodwinds, and it just feels like, you know, if anything, that's an interesting thing about it. Don't mean to take too much of this away from you, John, but you know, you're right in the sense of like it's not no Mozart or Beethoven or something like that, but in the sense, you know, it's not supposed to be, right? It's like some contemporary version of that, because like just thinking about that one note. So it's like me as a horn player, there's like a flute or two, a clarinet, and maybe like a bassoon. A woodwind quintet. Mozart was famous for writing woodwind quintets that had the horn player. So it's like things like that, you know. It's linear or circular, whatever you want to think of it. I like to describe it as spiralic, where it's like, okay, it's circular, but there is some sort of like linear motion to it. So you might end up at the same spot, but further along in your life. So it's like you might be going through the same circumstance, but you're actually seeing it with now that experience and wisdom of like living a longer life. And then at that point, you know, it's really up to you to kind of decide how you want to go about it. Are you really going to do the same thing or not? Either way, that spiral keeps on going. And that's the thing too. You think of it like a coil, like a wick or something like that. You just don't know how long that spiral is. Or like you think you start here and end there, it's not the same spot. You don't really know. Just to say that too in relation to Dvorak, it's like, you know, he probably didn't expect to be in America making that.
Where's he from?
He's Czech.
Okay.
Oh.
But before I get into my whole spiel, John, keep on going.
Oh, okay. So that last chord, according to my orchestra teacher, I don't know how true it is supposed to be like him on the boat finally leaving the new world.
Whoa.
Either at like dusk or dawn, you know, like it's golden hour.
That's
And
crazy.
he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here." And also the reason why I love this piece might just be because I love, me and Elijah were talking about this, just like John Williams' music, because he really based. It starts out with Jaws, which wasn't John Williams, I think.
Yeah, that's
Or
John Williams.
It was.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I will say this though I'm a big John Williams fan too, but if you're a big John Williams fan, you have to understand that he's not that original. He kind of just like recreates shit and just makes it contemporary, or like he's able to take things that have already existed and put it into pop culture. Like basically the Imperial March is just like a new rendition of Mars
yeah.
from Holst, and same thing, the Jaws theme is basically just, you know, the beginning of the fourth movement. So he does that shit a lot, but that's okay. You
I
know?
felt like I heard like some Harry Potter in here.
That's John Williams as
Yeah.
well. I would say that Harry Potter is more like Jupiter or something. Or I always think of the Quidditch theme. It reminds me a lot of Jupiter, but
I'll try to find it.
But then I also love how many twists and turns the fourth movement takes. I guess the whole symphony takes. The second movement is crazy, with this one first part, and then the second part I really like, and then the third part in that song is like, and then it comes back to like, oh yeah, this is fired. Which is kind of like the whole symphony in that piece, because the third piece in it, I'm like, oh, okay. The first piece, I'm like, oh, okay. But second, and then fourth, oh my gosh. What else is there? I don't know what else.
How do you guys talk about the music when you're practicing it in like orchestra and band?
They're like, hey, mark that.
yeah,
Did
it's a
you
lot
bring
of
a
writing.
pencil? Mark it.
Yeah.
like for like emphasis on like certain notes, like a crescendo.
I mean, it's not necessarily as like conceptual all the time of like the last note. You know, Dvorak's looking out in the sunset. A lot of it is more just like very specific and technical, like emphasize that accent, you know, make sure those staccatos are short. because really, you know, as a conductor or something, you know, you kind of want them to understand the big picture, but in the moment, they don't need to really communicate what you're trying to get across. And it's that weird thing, though, because it's not like you can force them to do it, because at the end of the day, as a conductor talking to a musician, you're not playing the instrument. You can't actually control how they fucking play that thing. You have to trust them to be able to perform. You know what I mean? And so when you talk about the music, you talk about it in that way, just in terms of like, I don't know, everyone talks about it differently too, because that's the thing. Like, you know, I was in high school, orchestra, band, all that, and I took it very seriously, obviously, and I did all that extracurricular shit. But, you know, that's a very, in a sense, like elementary way of seeing the world in a lot of ways. We didn't actually experience life. So what can we really say about the music beyond that? And I don't know, I can only speak for myself. I don't know how other people were, but I listened to it just out of my own free time. I didn't just listen to it when we played it. And so I felt like I had my own relationship with it. And that's how it just was with music. I felt like it's just like, even more than movies or anything else, you can form your own relationship with it. So in a sense, it's like talking to it about people, or talking to it with other people, even if you're playing it together. That's another thing too. Like in an orchestra, man, it really is like a fucking like a Milky Way galaxy. Everyone's in their own like planet doing their own thing, and it's like really, that's why it's like I don't know, some sort of miracle in that sense, or symphony, that it all comes together into some type of symphony. You know what I mean? Like really, like whatever the first violins are doing is like has everything to do, but nothing to do with like what the second bassoon player is playing. You know what I mean? Like really, like, you know, and it's just more of understanding that, and understanding like you gotta really know your role. You gotta know your part. Who the fuck cares what they're doing over there? You know what I mean? You have to trust them to be able to do that. Why are you going to fucking take up your own bandwidth with someone else being like, fucking the violas suck right now? Fuck it, you know? Just do your part good. And if you do your part super good, then I feel like it's like that thing, you know? I think I said this before, but like, if you want to be a fast runner, you have to run with people that are faster than you. You know, like, just like really. And so I feel like if you're just playing your part good, it helps just elevate the whole group, and other people want to play their parts better too. Long way to say, talking about music to other people it wasn't like a A to B correlation thing. Everyone talks about it differently because everyone kind of experiences it differently. And at least in terms of that, I don't know, everyone is kind of in their own world with it, right?
Who was like the hardest group of like instruments to talk to about the music?
Probably some of the wind players. Like,
I heard fucking when I went over to your place, fucking when you guys were talking about the wind instruments and like how they're kind of a bit strange sometimes. It's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I was in band, and you're in band kind of. You're also in orchestra, and I guess I was kind of in orchestra. But like, at least all the orchestra people, it feels like, you know, they're kind of more cohesive with it. And the band people are kind of goofy, like really. Like.
I would play orchestra all the time in high school and middle school. I didn't really listen to it though. I was just there to play.
That's most people, like really.
Yeah.
Like why the fuck would you listen to it? Like really.
But I'm glad I did. This piece, you played this piece 2 times?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing about it, is that the summer before my senior year, I was just playing in some random orchestra. I forget I think it must have been Mr. Case. I don't know if you ever knew him, but he might have.
Mr. Case?
Yeah,
I think I remember Mr. Case.
I think he might have contacted me, or somebody did, or something, about just playing in some group. They needed more horn players. So we're like, okay, I'll do it. And John happened to be there, and the piece we happened to be playing was Dvorak, the fourth movement. So yeah, but then fast forward to like the spring of our senior year, we're playing it for the Clark Orchestra. It's like,
wow.
What? But I was excited. I felt like I had another chance, like another shot at it. Because that summer one, you know, that was rough. It's a hard piece. Really.
I thought the summer one we did better.
You think so?
I think because we had like more pro players.
But see, then that in that way though, it's like,
But we only had a week to learn it.
oh yeah, that's the thing.
You know?
You had a week?
Yeah, and that's I mean that's how really like professional musicianship is. Like they give you the piece, you gotta practice it and know your part, so that when
Wow.
you come to rehearsal, you're not having to fuck around like, oh, I don't know how to play this shit. You should
Holy
know how to
shit.
play your shit, so that like you can actually, oh, how do we actually elevate this the material, and you can really apply it to anything. That's exactly what you should do in filmmaking. Like really.
Did that work the same way in band?
Yeah, and at least in everyone's experience is different, but in band, we were really big on like sight reading and shit like that. So like so that you can get used to doing that and just like really, like I really appreciate my band director for doing that, because it's like more like critical thinking. Like it's like way different than like if you just like they give you the piece and they kind of you work on it for fucking 3 months and you're gonna perform it. If you're able to see something in front of you and still bring it to life, man, that's skill. That's a genuine skill right there. And
I was always able to sight read, but then if you asked me to practice it over and over, I would not. And then the band director would get really mad at me.
well, that's the thing, because like in jazz band though, he would give us like fucking like 50 pieces, and we would maybe
Shit.
sight read it like once, and he's like, all right, just put it in the folder. And like it's really on you to like revisit it every once in a while to, you know, keep it in your brain or whatever, because you never know when he's like, all right, pull out that one piece that you never looked at since like the fall, and it's the spring semester now, and you're like, shit. Like,
You just gotta like play it on the fly at that point.
And that's the part but at that point though, it's like that's when like really it's like you're come to Jesus moment where it's like, oh, even if I didn't practice this like as I should have, maybe I should just elevate my musicianship skills to be able to sight read and just, you know, be present in the moment. To me, music taught me so much about being present. Man, let's get back to Dvorak.
Shit. That's still really good. It's a good story. I think
We're
it's really
listening to it right now
Yeah.
too, so it's like this is crazy.
Brandon said real quick.
I wanted to ask you another question about band though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brandon, this will be quick. He said goofy band people.
Is it what?
He said goofy band people.
It's
I have
fun,
heard
man.
some goofy stories from band.
What'd you
at least
hear?
at
What'd you
Clark.
hear?
When I was a freshman, on the baseball team, there was this one senior who used to be in band. Or no, never mind. It was ROTC. I'll tell the story though. He was he used to be in ROTC, and then he like got out of ROTC, and he's like, anyone who's in ROTC is like gay as fuck, just like saying shit like that. And then he said one time there was like an ROTC like retreat or something, and he was like in the room with like this one kid, and for whatever reason, this kid put like the TV control up his ass or something.
What the fuck?
They're from band or what?
They were in ROTC.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I thought it was band for a second.
That sounds like
you're all
something
good.
that a band kid would do, though. No,
For
Yeah, that
real.
sounds like a band camp
that
thing.
no, like at LVA.
Well,
I
yeah,
remember.
Elwood went to performing art school where he had to deal with more of the cringe ass band kids.
Yeah.
Like, really, like.
They were like try hard. Like they never took showers. Like they were so sweaty. They were so gross. Like to even be next to. Like I remember like like when you walked into school, you kind of knew who people were. You knew who like the art kids were because they dress a certain way, and the dance kids dress a certain way and stuff like that. Just not for any like reason of like because they dress like shit or anything, but it was just because like dance kids wore like I guess more like athletic clothes, and then like art kids wore more like fucking jackets in summer and shit. But anyway, but like
what were you? What did you wear in high school, Elwood?
bro,
Like the same thing.
The band kids smelled different.
the band kids did
No,
smell
because
different.
the band room smells different. Like you walk in
Bro.
there, like, damn, what the fuck is that? And you know why? It's because whatever that carpet is filled with fucking spit and water. Cause you know,
Bro.
like you saw how I empty
No,
my spit
no,
valve.
literally.
Look, we just fucking do that all over the fucking floor.
Oh
You
my
just
God.
spit on the floor?
Not like
Yeah.
spit, but
Well,
like
no,
it's just
just
like
like
the
it goes
instrument
out.
water, you know? It really
Wow.
it's not necessarily it's like
Band people smell like spit.
no, it's
It
90%
smell like gross.
it's 90% water. Like literally, it's the condensation that happens from the warm air coming through your instrument. But that 10% of spit is all that needs. Like, that's different.
That's different. Yeah.
No, but so like every fucking classroom, I had a classroom that was literally in a basement, and it smelled like shit every time the upper like classrooms flushed the toilet. because the pipes would go down.
Ah.
And that was the classroom. Literally,
Ah.
even that being said, the band room was the worst smelling room out of all of them. I had to go there once because they were like, can you give this paper to whatever teacher? And I was like, okay, cool. I went there, and they had like the high school I went to. They had like separate like buildings where like this was like the music building. This was so I went to the music building. I was going through the hallway, and it was fine. It was fine until you got to like halfway down the hallway, and you were like, wait, what the fuck?
The thing about it though is what I will say is like devil's advocate though is like if you're like with your instrument and you're playing it and all that, like you get, it's not like a good thing, but you get used to the smells. It's not like, you know, it's just like a part of life, you know what I mean? It's like I imagine you smoke cigarettes all the time, you know, you kind of just get used to that like kind
It's
of
exactly
lingering
like
sort
exactly
of
like
musk. But I don't know, it's interesting you say that about LVA though, because like at least at Clark I feel like it's more justified. Like we were in marching band, we were outside, like being sweaty and shit.
That makes sense. They had no fucking reason, bro. They were literally where the air conditioner was. They were the first classroom that got hit by the air conditioner. You know what I mean? Like they had no reason to smell like this. I walked in, the carpet, like you said, like you know, like you have to empty out the spit valves or whatever like that. They used to empty it on the floor. Literally, you just saw puddles. Like
no
just stains.
way.
That's nasty.
You're joking.
Bro, I swear I walked in.
You swear on your mama.
I swear on my mama.
What?
I
That
swear,
is so
They were like
gross.
just like little stains on the ground.
Whoa.
And I was like, what the
What was LVA band supposed to be like?
LVA band? I don't even.
Well,
yeah.
They were supposed to be the best of the best. The jazz kids were supposed to be the most popular kids at the school, from what I hear.
Is that true?
Jazz kids were like frat boys.
Yeah.
So they were like
They
the
were-
most like popular.
And
Wow.
I would say that like the LVA jazz was like pretty decent, but like their
Mhm.
actual band, their orchestra was like, I don't know, they were goofy. Like
They were
really,
goofy.
like you go to performing arts school and you got like in your curriculum like 2-hour lessons, and I like still can like beat you at honor band at Allstate. Like really, like
Yeah.
really, like what the fuck?
No, a lot of those kids. I think they gave us a paper or some shit where they said some shit like, band is like the one major that like kids that got out of the major, they were least likely to do something in band, like outside of it.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like it's weird because as like a music person, a music major, whatever you want to call it, there's gonna come the day where you have to really come to grips with the fact like, am I gonna be a professional musician or am I gonna be a band teacher? And when you actually think about that, like the reality of the situation, who really wants to be a band teacher? Like you have to I wanted to be a band teacher for a while. Like you gotta love that shit. But if you don't, man, that shit's like, you know, like really, what the fuck are you doing? It's tough. It really is tough. Because then I've seen people too who it's like they choose the professional musician path, and you're just like, it's an uphill battle. But I mean, you know, one person's dream is another person's nightmare. So I can't shit on any other person's dream. You know what I mean? But that's tough. Music's tough. Music to me is like really that one of those industries that also too it's like everybody's a critic. Like everyone has ears, and everyone is like you play them your shit, and like they're gonna have an opinion about it. Like just really like it's just it's hard to get away from that. So man, music's tough. But Dvorak.
No, go ahead.
Nah, what are you gonna say, Elwood?
I was gonna say the dude from Heaven Knows What.
That kind of. Oh, the guy.
The trumpet guy.
Yeah, the trumpet guy.
You can't carry a note.
Play music.
You're flat.
What were you gonna ask about band though? Like,
Because you're a drum major, right?
yeah.
So what were your like responsibilities as a drum major? And like, what do you, when you're conducting, what are you doing?
Keeping time. You know, like so like at least for marching band, so the way that it's set up structurally is that you got the 100-yard field, 150 kids, you know, color guard band, going all over the fucking place. And in the front of that you have like the percussion section. That's a lot of moving pieces. And so really me, it's not like I can actually fucking conduct the band or whatever, you know. At that point it really is like once the show starts, you know, it's like there's a go button and there's no going back. But my job in a lot of ways is just as like a point of reference, like look towards me to make sure that you're on time, you know, whenever my hand is coming down. And that's the thing too. marching band is difficult for that reason, and the fact that sound, like, and that's another thing too. Like we can talk about that with orchestra. It's really strange, but I get it. Is that sound? Is like, what's the right word? It's like an aspect. There's an aspect of physics to it, like literally. So you got 150 people spread out across 100 yards trying to play one thing at the same time and be coordinated with it. Sound doesn't travel that way. You know what I mean? If you play something from, the north side of the field, it's going to take like a 2-second delay for you to hear it on the south side of the field. And so me as the drum major is there to make sure that the north side and the south side are in cohesion with each other. But the thing is with marching, it's like, don't even think of it as like trying to play the notes to my hands, because obviously I'm conducting and giving the beat, but it's the feet. It's a very visual thing. So as my hand is coming down, make sure your foot is matching with my hand. And that's the thing too. So in orchestra, the way that the structure of it is set up is that you got to look at the first chair violin, look at their bow, right? And that's how the whole orchestra goes. You follow what they do. Theoretically, that works because that's a visual cue and everyone can follow, because, the speed of light is way different than the speed of sound. But at least that was for me as a wind player in an orchestra setting, is that us as wind players, we always have to listen back, because sound travels forward. Sound, especially through an instrument, sound is directional. You know what I mean? I play my trumpet. It's going to be a lot harder to hear behind my head than in front of the bell, right? So we're kind of trained in that way to listen back. And the way that a band is set up is that the percussion is the furthest back, so you can always hear the rhythm. And so you put us in an orchestra setting where now we're going to have to follow the first chair violin. It's almost like you're kind of trying to fight physics in a lot of ways. It's interesting because, like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you remember, a lot of times an orchestra conductor say, "Winds, you're late. You're not on it. You're not on it." And it's like, in the moment, it really does feel like we are. It's just the way that sound travels. And so it's a very interesting dynamic in that way, and a lot of times me as a wind player, as a brass player, would have to be in front of the beat in a lot of ways, a millisecond, very, very subtle, but just enough so that when the sound travels, it feels appropriate to what's going on. And that's what I'm saying too. You actually have to know your role. And in that way, like as a professional musician, you can't come there and like, in a sense, and like jam out. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way, because you have to actually understand your part so that you can see how to be a half beat ahead of everyone. You know what I mean?
When we were, I think, getting ready for the Carnegie Hall performance, which is where Dvorak played this symphony, I think.
Carnegie Hall is an iconic place, man. What can I say? Everything,
We were actually talking about that, and the basses have the hardest time with their sound because they're the furthest back, and they play the lowest frequencies, which travel the slowest.
Right.
And I think they said that at some points, I don't know, this doesn't sound right now, but like you might have to play 2 seconds ahead in order for your sound to travel at the same
speed.
Like you could,
That's gotta be so weird.
Theater.
Wow.
like you could literally
So that
do
people
like
think
a
you're
like a
on time.
mathematical correlation to that shit. Like really, it's like physics.
Are you walking backwards when you're conducting the marching band?
No, I'm on a podium.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm like on this like little stand thing. Like really, it's kind of it's an interesting experience, really, where it's like I stand up there on this fucking podium. Behind me is like the whole stand there. Judges up there. I turn and salute to them. I turn to the band, and it's like 150 kids looking up at
Wow.
me. It's it, and then like really like I'm starting the thing. I count it off, and we go. And oh, I forgot to say though. So that's like maybe the actual like technical aspect of the role as a drum major, but I would say more of the job as a drum major is like in a sense like you're like the morale of the band, you know what I mean? In a lot of ways it's just like a leadership position. You got to make sure that you are presenting the best foot forward, and you have a positive attitude, and you take it seriously. And even if everyone else doesn't, it's like if the drum major doesn't take it seriously, it's like I forget, it's like the law of diminishing returns. I give a 10, the maximum someone can return to me is an 8. So why would you come to them with a 6
and
Yeah.
expect anything more than that. So it's more of like that. You have to be, you just like enthusiasm, and like it's like you're a role model in a lot of ways, because like also like most drum majors are upperclassmen, and so you as the drum major and a freshman comes in and you're nervous and all that, you should be able to approach them. You should remember their name, like simple shit like that, you know, make them feel welcome, make them feel a part of it. And I feel like that's the thing, and like that's why I stuck in band, is that like I was able to form relationships and friendships that made me feel like I belonged somewhere. So it's like I didn't care that it smelled like shit. I felt like I belonged, you know? And on top of that, you know, first one there, last one to leave. Set everything up, tear everything down. So that's the job of a drum major.
That's a really cool story.
Hmm.
Dvorak. Oh, there's a few things in chat actually, really quick. Jalen said, I think, was it band majors, question mark? Someone pissed all over the music stands. I remember that was school gossip for a while. Is that true, Elwood? That was band majors? Yeah.
They pissed on what?
That's fucking music stands.
Everyone has to touch that.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
At some point, like you.
Gross.
have to touch
Well, you
that.
need a music stand if you're gonna like
Yeah.
read the music,
What a dickhead. Then
right?
Brandon sent another laughing emote, I think. Then Jalen said music majors were either public school kids or just awful people at LVA. So many screenshots, so many. I don't know what that means. What does that mean, Elwood?
Probably like messages or something.
Yeah, they were really, really cringy. Like, I have a lot of screenshots myself of like just their stories on Instagram or some shit, where they just literally like, you know, like I guess the stereotypical like meme like band majors, like kid with a fedora, fucking comes up to you, asks to play Smash on your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Fucking offers you a Hostess cupcake.
Yeah.
Like we
Offers you a
had those
Hostess
kids. We had a kid. We called him fucking like Magic Eric. Cause literally he used to
It's fucked up.
he used to come up to girls and he used to sit down and he used to be like, "Want to see a magic trick?" And then he would do a card trick on the grass field, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's so cool, Eric," and be like, "Yeah." And he'd go back to the band kids.
Well, what a badass.
So every day there was like one special lady. Every day, Magic Eric.
At my band, I won't say his name, but we had somebody similar that literally every day he would go up to a girl and ask for a hug. and like literally 9 times out of 10 he would get a hug from the girl. But like it would be like a 10-second hug, like a
Ooh.
What the fuck?
He was fucking weird.
Bro, we had a kid just like that at
But-
our school. Oh, so no, go ahead.
low key. He was like a genius. Like
He was smart.
no, like
He was
literally,
really
like he was like a prodigy.
Oh, I think you told me about him once.
It was weird though how he would hug girls. Like, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know?
I won't say his name, but Norby.
What the fuck is going on?
No.
What is going on here?
The one kid.
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know
know
what kid I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going around the track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He used to come up to girls. He used to come up to girls and be like, "No one wants to go to the dance with me. Would you go to the dance with me?"
The
But
kid.
JK unless.
He used to do that, and also supposedly there's video proof of him jerking off to inflatable porn in the bathroom on his iPad.
No bueno.
We had a kid in band who he was an iPad kid. Like he was addicted to his
Yikes.
fucking iPad. He'd fucking play like Clash Royale or some shit all day on his iPad. But like next to his music would be his iPad or like so like when the director wasn't looking, he'd just pull away the music and like of all things Clash Royale. Like really, it was so bro. But one day he was playing against another kid. And I guess he beat the kid, but he rubbed it in the kid's face, and the kid got so mad. He left. He left. He started crying. Man, band is goofy for that shit though.
Clash Royale was fun.
These are some good stories.
Hey, I will say another thing too. As a drum major, in terms of conducting, part of it is you got to be aware of tempo changes and time changes. So you know we got all different hand signature or like just hand movements. For 4/4, 3/4, 5/4, 7/4.
Oh,
The
God.
difference between going fast versus like more of a moderato or a legato slow slow things.
Legato. I remember that.
Retardo.
Retardando.
Yeah.
Legato.
And so,
Pianissimo.
the crazy thing about it was that like after doing it, like I, like in like the peak of like the final show, like I literally could like by memory like conduct and tap what like 180 beats per minute was, like what 124 beats per minute was, like 160 beats. Like it was just instilled in me. So that was kind of cool.
That's super dope.
But about Dvorak, I guess, you know.
Yeah,
so
Dvorak.
just some history stuff, just to continue what John was saying. So yeah, Dvorak, he was this famous Czech composer, and he gets commissioned by this lady. Let me see her name right here. Do I have it?
When was he alive?
That's a good question.
He was born like in the 1840s, and he
Hmm.
made the New World Symphony in like 1892. He was
Okay.
in the United States from 1892 to 1895, and in that brief period, you know, he made an iconic piece.
Wow.
I forget the name of the lady, but some lady, she had this American Music Conservatory in New York, and she invited Dvorak to come there to actually like kind of like conceptually create like an American symphony. Like at that point,
In the Gilded Age, motherfucker.
yeah. Like there was, but there, in terms of American culture, you got to think that it was very, very young, and in a lot of ways, American culture was still, I guess, not as highbrow like that. You know, you didn't have symphonies. You know what I mean? You know, it was a lot more just of the common people, and so he gets hired to come out here, and he's in New York, and you know, learning stuff, just trying to figure it out. But like John said, he was very homesick. He missed, you know, his Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I don't know. Say that.
And I got some funny stories actually relating to it. So one day he was walking through the conservatory, and he hears this like, singer just singing, dude by the name of Harry something, but. Oh, that was another thing about the conservatory. It was very egalitarian in the sense it was merit based. It was talent based. They just wanted the most talented people there, regardless of, you know, race, skin color, sexual orientation, all that. And so he's walking through, and it's this black guy that's singing this like kind of like folk hymn that kind of related more to like slavery times, and he was kind of very taken aback by it. And that guy became like a very close collaborator with his. But that's where he kind of, because he was commissioned to do this piece, and he was trying to figure out, you know, what was his angle to it? What the fuck is American music? And so he decided, or like after that, and talking to this guy and thinking and doing some more research, is that the symphony is very heavily inspired by like slave hymns and Native American hymns in a lot of ways. Like he felt like that was what like the true America was like to him. And so, like, there's a lot of shit in there that's, like, kind of that. But it's very interesting, too, in that way of, like, and it's not, I won't say it's, like, a blatant ripoff. It's, like a true inspiration where, like, he, like, takes those hymns or those melodies and puts it into, like, a classical, like, European sort of, like, structure of a symphony. Like, a 4-movement symphony is, like, kind of, like, the standard. You know what I mean? And so that's, and not just that, but even like the flow of it, like, you know, obviously the first movement in a lot of ways is just an introduction to all of the melodies, right? You hear everything in the first movement, and really your job with the first movement is to figure out how to just make that a cohesive piece that leads you into the second movement. But then typically that's how it goes. So I forget the exact names of it, but we'll say that, like, you know, that first one is like some type of like, I don't know, like a moderato, something, you know, something strong, but not too crazy.
And then the second one kind of introduces you to the shits.
Yeah,
Like,
but the second
here
one
we
is
go.
like largo, you know, it's a slow movement, and you can kind of sit with it in a lot of ways. Third one is like andante or whatever, you know, something just like kind of more moderate.
Molto vivace.
Molte
Molto
vivace.
vivace, yeah.
It's like, I think that's like kind of stands for like moderately, you know, lively, like lively. But then the fourth movement, allegro con fuoco, means like on fire.
For real?
Yeah,
Actually?
yeah,
That's sick
basically.
as fuck. What does the first
the
one stand
finale.
for? The first one is adagio allegro molto.
Slow and then fast. Slow and then you know, moderately rise to fast.
Interesting.
But so yeah, that was kind of the inspiration for it. But then getting into the actual symphony, so you get into like the first movement, and like kind of what John was saying about the very last note of the fourth movement. I would argue that like that first phrase of the first movement is in a lot of ways the same way. It feels like you got the strings come in, kind of with the melody, but it's very somber, right? Like he feels kind of sad. It feels like he's missing his home. It feels very personal. It feels like it's from a point of view, which is very interesting. You're writing the American symphony, but from a point of view, you know what I mean? But like your own point of view as an outsider in a lot of ways. And so it starts that way with this almost like sense of longing. And then you get the horn call. And you think of it, and it's like, that's kind of genius. Like out of nowhere, it's like ba ba. I don't know if you remember, but you think about the instrument of the French horn, and like the history of the French horn is like back in the day, that was kind of like the first brass instrument, one of the first wind instruments, because before it really was just like you use a sheep's horn or like a ram's horn or something, but it was like a call, like it was used to like before cell phones. If someone was on the other side of like some valley, you would pull out your horn. And you had to actually know horn calls, horn signals to communicate. Everything is okay. I need help. Like, shit like that. And then it kind of adopted to the military, and it was, military horn calls and shit like that. But
eight things. The morning call.
Yeah. There's calls and all that. Like, it was like a real thing. But like, just to say that, like, it's just kind of brilliant then to use that almost as like this thing of like, okay, we have this somber. It could almost like at that point when it's just the strings, it could just be a European symphony, right? Just feels like, whatever, some type of emotions getting conveyed. But the horn is like, nah, something's coming. We're coming, the new world. We're upon the new world. And then the strings keep on going until you're hit with like the whole symphony going at it, and then it kind of devolves into the, the rest of it. And that's what's interesting about it too. I kind of wrote this down in terms of notes. All right, let me see. What did I miss? Sorry. You guys gonna say something?
I was saying the first song I think has probably one of my favorite parts in the whole, across all four of them. Is this one part that was like, how does it go? He's like, it's kind of off key. How does it go? It's really cool. It's in the first song. It's like, let me see, I wrote it down. It's like 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. It's like it only happens like twice in the whole song.
Oh, is it like?
It's sorta. It's like. Could we play it, or is there gonna be? I think we could play it. It's fucking.
It's Dvorak.
Oh, also too, fun fact: before it was called the New World Symphony, the original title for it was "Impressions and Greetings from the New World."
Wow.
Nice.
When I was listening to it, I was thinking of it like the New World in the context of like Europeans coming to America, like in the 15th, 16th century, Chris Columbus stuff.
See,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
was
sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say when I was listening to it, I was thinking of Terrence Malick's The New.
Yeah, it made me want to see that movie.
Yeah.
I wonder if they play anything from the New World in the New World.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know if they do. I literally when I was watching it at one point, I like pulled up clips. I was just like, yep.
Do you think the music would go good over it?
Some of it does, but obviously like I didn't like time it or anything.
That's crazy.
Bro, this is so sick. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
There's this part right here. Oh, this part's so good.
those horn calls, man. Boom, boom, bada, boom. Boom, boom, bada, boom.
Is there any other parts you guys want me to go to?
I really like.
I-
So no, go ahead.
Go, Elwood.
There's a part in this song when like it goes quiet for a second. I feel like it's near the beginning, and then it's like one horn. Do you know what part I'm talking about? Where it's just like one horn for a little bit.
In the first movement?
I think it is the first movement. It's just like
That's the horn call I'm saying. Like rewind a little bit, rewind a little bit, and like it's just strings. Then out of nowhere, it's just like this horn. Like it really feels like the new world is calling you. You know what I mean? Like really,
bro. I just really.
Oh my god.
No, go ahead.
It made me think of Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Yeah.
Like when they go into Skull Island and like there's the fog, but like slowly through the fog you can like start to see like the
island.
Skull Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to say I really like that part. I don't know, like the way that horns are in this whole symphony. They kind of, I don't know. I can't really talk about any specific, like any actual like musical terms, but I can describe what they sound like in my head. You know, like the part in Ratatouille when they're eating like the grapes and the cheese. They're like, what the fuck are you thinking about? And it's like,
Yeah,
so like, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's one thing I liked about just all four of them was like, especially the last one, obviously, it really went balls to the wall with it, but just like how much variety there was in terms of like tone. It really like you go from like one place to the next in like under like 30 seconds.
Right,
It's like fucking nuts.
Right there where you pause it too, it's like, all right, first you have like a peaceful horn call, but then it's like da 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 da. Like it feels kind of aggressive. It's very aggressive.
It's intense, and there's like even like I forget which one. I think maybe it was the third one, but like there's like parts in it where it's like it goes from like this really just like tense. It's like really just like busy and shit. It's like you're going somewhere, and then it gets like really happy. All of a sudden, it's like really jovial, really just like it's like lots of it's like nobody gives a fuck, and then it goes back. It's just going back and forth between these two, and it's just like really just like I enjoy the tone shift. Like it gave it some flavor for sure.
I feel like that's the thing though about the first movement. Like maybe its purpose really is just to introduce all the themes and melodies, but I feel like it actually does it with like I don't know how to describe it, like in an artistic way. Like I actually like can like derive meaning from like it beyond just like it's not an overture. You know what I mean? Like an overture is literally just a compilation. There's great overtures like the Candide overture. So not to knock on overtures, you know, but this doesn't feel like an overture, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like it's more than an overture?
It's the first movement.
It's a piece. My philosophy on like albums is if the first song on the album is a banger, you probably got a good album.
What if though it's like the law of diminishing returns and then you just keep listening and just keeps on.
What if like the first song is like the only banger?
Then
like,
they knew how to play their cards right.
Or what if like
they
the
knew how
seventh
to
song is the only
gamble.
banger?
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you
like,
see it sometimes though in popular music. Like the single will sometimes be like in the middle of the album.
Yeah.
I like that though. I appreciate it. Like, you know, it's like I always feel like sometimes a single shouldn't be the best song on the album. You know what I
True.
mean?
Yeah.
But all right, well, like you know when you just like Blood on the Leaves, that was supposed to be the first song, but On Sight is the first song. But On Sight in a sense is like, you know, I feel like it gives you more of a sense of like the actual vibe and the ideas that are coming across. If you did just play kind of like the best song like Blood on the Leaves, you would like look at the album kind of differently, right?
On Sight gets you going.
Yeah,
it's like a heavy. It's like a fast moving song.
That's why it works
it's
good as the first song. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Remember.
Is that all we have to say about the first movement?
No, I got a lot of notes.
Oh, okay.
I really like the second movement. Not to like throw shade at the first.
The second
movement.
movement's really
no,
cool.
the first move is not my favorite movement actually. I like the second and fourth way more. Like
The second movement is like very like. The second movement almost feels like paranoid, kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
that's
I think. How would you describe the intro? The intro's like pretty distinct.
of the second
Of
movement.
the second movement, yeah.
Play it.
It's like beautiful. Like it's like to me a brass chorale is almost like synths. Like there's just something that it fills the space when you hear those chords, and like, man, it's like literally I don't know how to describe it other than just like, man, it works. You know what I mean?
I used the second movement as like background music for a video I did for a science class in high school, which was just funny to hear it in like the classroom.
This part.
But yeah,
Yeah, this
hear,
part- this
hear
part's
those
crazy.
chords, listen to these
Yeah.
chords. But imagine that's the thing too. You got to think of this music three-dimensionally. Like it's way different listening into it in headphones. Versus like imagine like you're surrounded by 30 fucking dudes
That's
like
fucking
playing this
crazy.
like around you. Like you can actually like feel the sound in a different way.
you can feel each note being played by
It sounds
each of the
beautiful.
players. Yeah, and if it's a good orchestra, they're playing like each note how they want to, trying to play it as perfect as possible.
That's another thing too. Like okay, so you have that brass chorale, but then it's kind of like act like the cherry on top is like that timpani roll that comes in. You know, it's just like man, it's just great. Like really. But then yeah, so before we get too far into the segment, let me just wrap up my
Alright.
thoughts on the first movie.
For sure, for
Okay.
sure. Let me see. I think. I wrote some things down.
I mean, I'm just gonna read my notes. It doesn't really. This is just more music stuff. I just wrote kind of starts out with like an E minor chord melody that transitions into like a C major chord from the horns and the bassoons and clarinets, and it kind of. I'm not gonna. That's for a whatever. Same thing. I'm just talking more about the instruments. It's kind of interesting in terms of like the compositionally, So you got this G minor chord melody from the oboe and the flute, which leads into like this flute melody solo, and the flute melody solo, the bum 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 bum, actually is like I said, one of those like slave era folk songs.
Oh, wow.
Could you look up? It's called "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot."
Oh, swing low.
You know that one?
Yeah, I know that one. But I was gonna say
Fuck.
a lot of this the whole like all four songs, they felt very I guess like, cause this is like basically right before like Hollywood, like in America at least, like the big boom.
Like the actual like, at that point maybe in the late 1800s, United States.
That's it. It's pretty beautiful.
I like this song.
God damn.
But just listen to the melody and think of it a little kind of sped up on a
Mhm.
flute, and that's kind of there's actual like if you write the notes, there's a resemblance to it there. And obviously this is more of a contemporary version too.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 ba,
Yeah.
da, 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 ba, da, 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 do.
Yeah. I was gonna say a lot of this whole album reminded me of like just movies, just like especially because obviously John Williams. There's parts in it I feel like he legitimately just ripped. Like there's like like Duels of the Fate like or Duel of Fates whatever like it's like dum, 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 dum,
Yeah.
dum, dum, dum. Yeah, bro. There's like a part in this.
Bum, bum, ba, da, bum, ba, dun, da, dun, 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 da, da, dun, da, 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 da,
Yeah,
dun.
bro. I was like, no fucking way. But like there was a lot of shit. There was so much variety. Like Norby said, like there was like sometimes it was like a western, sometimes it was like a horror movie, but not like a new one, like an older one. Just like it just felt so like thematic all the fucking time. Like, bro, driving to this music, just sitting down to this music, it just feels like, just makes your life better. It makes you feel better.
I was gonna bring that up too. At least in the first movement, there's like a lot of chromatic themes in the like with the woodwinds, but it's kind of based on the pentatonic scale. And at the time, it's not like it was a brand new thing, but it was just kind of if you think of it contextually, like like the pentatonic scale in terms of like that in relation to contemporary music, up until this day, it's interesting that he like chose that as like sort of like the bones of American music in a lot of ways, But sorry, what were you gonna say, John?
Maybe I'll save it for the fourth movement, but my favorite part of like the cinematic feel of it is when it makes me feel like I'm going through a foggy swamp or something, and I see like a little fairy come and it dances in front of me.
Yeah,
That's
it made me.
cool.
That reminded me of that a little bit. I felt like I had heard something similar in like early Disney things.
Yeah, I can. See
It
that.
made me think of Fantasia a little bit.
Yeah, I can see
The
that.
the whole album reminded me of a lot of like early like Disney movies, but like like the live action ones, like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and like Old Yeller and shit like that, like classic like old Disney movies. And I was like, damn, Anthony, bro, this is like in like 50 years when someone plays like In the Club at 50 Cent, everyone's gonna be like, whoa, this is like our like version of that right now.
That literally, I felt like like in high school. That's how I felt. That's why I would listen to this stuff. Like I really did. Like I would think of it that way. Like before you could go to the movies, you would go to the symphony. You know what I mean? And like to me, this is a banger. You know what I mean? The second movement is a banger in a lot of ways, man.
I love going to the symphony high as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that. I need to do it again because I've only done it once, but man, that was crazy. It's the music of the universe right there.
We should quote that and put it on ultrasound. I love going to the symphony high.
High as fuck.
But yeah, going into the second movement, beyond even just that introduction, obviously, you have that English horn solo. Beautiful, probably one of the most beautiful English horn solos ever written, you know what I mean? The actual melody of the second movement. Fun fact, though, that was originally supposed to be played by the clarinet, but at the last minute, Dvorak kind of changed it to be the English horn because he felt like it matched, because that melody is also like a slave, kind of gospel hymn, but that it matched Harry's voice, the dude that he heard when he was walking the conservatory more. So that was his friend. It is interesting too, like the second movement though, like really, like that first half or like first third just be its own song, right? It's very pretty, but then it kind of devolves from there. It gets into this a bit of a fugue.
Yeah.
But it works. I don't know.
That's when I was listening to the second one, I was like a good way. I was really trying to pay attention to like where the tones change and stuff, and like the intro to me reminded me a lot of like Space. Like every time I listen to it, I could just see myself like going through the stars and shit. And then it goes to like, it's not like, I guess it's like sincere. Like it was like, it's like, it reminds me of like being in like a prairie field or some shit. And there's like they kind of stick around there for a little bit, and then it's like literally about like the halfway point where it becomes like almost like angsty. Like there's some drama thrown in the mix, and and then obviously it returns later on, but it's
But I guess that's what I mean by like a feud. Like there's conflict introduced into the actual melodies and themes. Like you think about like that largo melody being played on top of something like the bum bum ba da dum ba da 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 dun, 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 and them together it creates a new song in a sense, And at that point it's almost like a competition of voices. But then that's again, you have to think of this music three-dimensionally. So like if you're at the orchestra, at the symphony, I would say like the stage is probably like 50 feet. And so think of like literally the left side versus the right side sometimes in terms of who's playing what when, you know what I mean? And it's a whole experience. We should go.
That would be very fun.
Oh, that's
I'd be
yeah.
down.
I was
Las
about
Vegas
to
Philharmonic.
Yeah.
I was about to say something way dumber. I was say let's get 50 speakers and like and get like studio tracks of like each individual instrument,
The stems.
and put them on each speaker and spread them out. Yeah, let's go to an actual symphony. That's dumb as fuck. Record it.
Like record us going to the symphony.
That if we can sneak a camera, if they let us, that'd be dope as fuck.
Goes to
The 360 cam.
Backcountry sees Dvorak. Symphony No. 9. Let's see in the chat. Yo, what the fuck? Jalen said, "Bro, I met the Magic Man first day of school." Magic Eric. Sorry, Jalen. Brandon said, "Huh?" All caps. Then Brandon said, "Clash Royale is goated as fuck." Then he said, pronounced Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
I think Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia.
He like spelled out how to say it, but it doesn't sound right. Czechoslovakia. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. So second movement.
That's the thing, though. All of like the competition, the feud, and that drama and conflict is resolved by the same brass chorales that introduced the piece. You know what I mean? It's great.
I would wonder what the meaning of the conflict would be, unless he was just like, "Hey, I want to have some conflict," or he was thinking like, "Let's have it be." What at that time it probably would have been Democrats versus Republicans, or like Federalists versus anti-Federalists, or whatever political faction it was, and how that kind of started the United States. The focus on freedoms or government control. And
I feel like the way I interpret it is more like, because like that more like aggressive sort of melody is actually more of like that Native American inspired melody. That bum bum ba da dum ba da 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 dun. That one's more of a Native American one, and so it's like, it's interesting to juxtapose that one with more of like that slave hymn. But to me, the fact that those two are clashing, it's more of just like, the way I think of it is like,
you know, you think of the history of the United States in a lot of ways is just conflict, but for in
Yeah.
a sense the wrong reasons, you know, like.
All the time.
And so I don't know, but that being said, like, so he didn't stay in New York the whole time he wrote this. He moved somewhere in the Midwest for
Oh, wow.
Iowa,
Iowa.
because that's where Czech people.
Yeah, he basically trying to find the hood out there. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
And that's where he kind of got more well versed in like the Native American side of things. But like, you think about like the country, and regardless of like the actual like man-made history of violence and all that stuff, it's a beautiful place. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, I couldn't imagine coming here. Like, imagine it pre-industrialization, like literally just like land, and just like this vast like lush beauty, you know, that is like the United States in a lot of ways.
It's a lot different from Europe, where, like, if you see a piece of land, you're like, who owns that?
Yeah.
Or who put a house there?
There's
or
freedom.
what- Yeah, but here it's all just like virgin land. It's all just like raw land. You're like, let's fucking take it.
What? Bro! Cancelled. What the fuck, bro? That's what they were thinking. Oh, yeah. Okay. Third song?
I mean, I feel like that's my least favorite of the four.
Mhm.
But it's not like it's awful. It's just like
No,
it's
yeah.
not as interesting to me as the other ones. It's the shortest one.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it starts though. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
I have that one playing right now.
Oh, you're listening right now?
Yeah, I'm listening while you guys are talking to it. It's-
How are you
what
listening
what
to
is that
it?
experience like?
It's really cool. Do you get if you want to?
Do you have
That's,
AirPods?
They're like knockoff ones.
When the fuck did you get AirPods?
They're not AirPods.
They're
bro.
not AirPods.
Okay, well, you know what I mean, like
They're
the
just
Bluetooth.
A few months ago.
headphones.
Oh, okay. That's new.
But
How many different instruments like are there in total needed to play this?
well, I mean, we could count it off, but all right. So I need someone to help me count it. Though.
Oh, I got-
just list
Alright,
them
we
off.
got you. We got
Okay.
hands.
We got violins. We got violas. Okay, so but
Oh,
okay.
fuck.
Do you want to talk instruments? Do you want to actual talk instrument parts? Because that is like two different numbers.
I guess parts.
Ooh.
Okay, so first violins,
Second violins.
second violins. Is there a first viola, second viola? Okay, with violas, cellos, basses, first flute, second flute, first clarinet, second clarinet, first bassoon, second bassoon, first horn, second horn, third horn, fourth horn.
There's 4 horns.
Yeah, 4 horn parts.
Is it like so when there's like these first and seconds going on? Is like one doing the harmony and the other's doing the melody, or
Yeah.
like okay?
Yeah.
Could you? I also wanted to ask you what's the difference between harmony and melody?
Well, a melody I would describe more as just like the actual like the song. Like that's the song. And harmony are like the textures and the voicings that you add to the melody, you know, to really fill it out, you know what I mean? So it's like
It's like melodies on top and harmonies on the bottom, so that you can.
Harmony like supports the melody.
yeah, it's
Okay.
all
Mhm.
about support. And specifically I can talk to that as experience as a horn player is like that's why there's 4 parts. And it's interesting actually because it doesn't stagger just like the first horn plays the highest note, the second horn plays the second highest note, and so on. It actually goes the first horn plays the highest note, the third horn plays the next highest note, then it's the second horn, then it's the fourth horn. But the way it's set up like that is so it's more like in pairs. And the symphony is actually written that way in pairs. Like a lot of times what the first and second horn are doing is way different than what the third and fourth horn are doing. So when you get to that fourth movement and it starts out with that, you know, the melody bum 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 bum. That's just the third and fourth horn with the other brass. The first and second horn are actually playing like more just like harmony and chord hits. Because while that's going on, the rest of the orchestra is just hitting those like that first and third beat, bum, 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 bum.
That was my job.
Yeah. So, okay.
You guys didn't lose count though, right?
No, 14.
Okay, so
15.
I thought it was 16.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it was 15.
okay, so we got first, second, third, fourth horn. So now we got first and second trumpet. There might be a third trumpet part, but I don't think so. We'll just say first and second trumpet. I want to say there's 3 trombone parts: a first, a second, and a bass trombone part. Tuba part. Now it gets a little complicated, like, in terms of how you want to count percussion instruments. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we'll say there's a timpani part, a bass drum part.
I think we had 3 people doing all of the percussion, and they'd have to move around.
Yeah, so that's the thing, though. So, like, there's different parts, but, like, you know, you kind of juggle them while you're doing it. So I guess we'll say roughly, I would say 3 to 5 percussion people would be necessary for this piece. We'll round down. We'll say 3.
Is that it?
So 23.
Yeah, it's 23.
Wow.
I mean, there's 23 parts, but then, like, for first violins, there's like 8 of them. 8 second violins.
So there's like 100 people.
So that's what I'm saying. There's 23 parts, but, like, that's not like there's 23 people.
Jesus.
So when
It's a
he write, or like when composers write music, they write like all the different parts for all the different instruments.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, you think
How do
about
they
it.
do that?
So
You should watch Amadeus.
I mean, basically, everyone has their own process to it, but you gotta think of it like that way. You have the melody, and you, as the composer, you have to decide who should have the melody right now, and then from there, you kind of just like, at least the way I would go about it is like you kind of reverse engineer the rest of the parts, because then, okay, you have the melody, what's the counter melody, and then what are the harmonies for both of those parts? You know what I mean? And then that's how it kind of fills in.
Is there actually, so when you say counter melody, how would you describe what that is?
So, like, basically, think of the melody as like what John said, like that top tune that's playing on top. But imagine something maybe just as or a little less intricate and complicated, but as involved, but playing right underneath that. And so that's where it's like you get into those feud parts and say, what's the melody and what's the counter melody here? You know what I mean? Because those are just kind of playing on top of each other. So, like, example in the 4th movement, I don't know if you guys will remember exactly, but, like, it's like towards the middle, the strings have the melody, and it's like the calm part. It's like bum bum ba wa 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 wa. Then the flute comes in, da 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 dee da dee da dee da. That's the counter melody right there. You know what I mean? It's the call and response. But then on top of that, you could even say there's layers to that, because then the strings come in again and so do the ba ba da 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 dee. But while that's going on, like my part has the horn, I have the same. It goes ba dee da 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 dee. So it's kind of playing on top of each other. Think of it just like as different voices. Like, think of it as like a dialogue thing. And, like, maybe there's a main conversation going on, but there's, like, other things happening at the same time. Like that one thing that you guys read to me that one time, you know.
Do you mind if I put it on real quick?
Yeah, play it. It's way easier to listen to than me sing it and describe it to you.
I was going to say, I thought about the way we talk about, like, this orchestra piece. And I just thought, like, damn, it's just going to be a lot of us just, like, making noises.
I felt like that about the podcast, though. Like, it's like, damn, how many clips are there just kind of, like, awkwardly singing and no one understands what we're singing?
I was like listening to it, and I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to talk about this. This is crazy.
That's why it's called ultrasound. We're trying to, like,
Ultrasound.
get a good look at this fetus.
We got the one-liners coming in tonight.
Yes!
I'm going to the symphony high as fuck.
I want to take this land.
Virgin
Bro,
land.
fucking Brandon said he
land.
clipped it and sent it to Twitter, bro. You're fucked. Shit. What timestamp roughly do you think would be?
Try around like 7.
7?
Yeah, like, go, like, half.
Siete.
Half?
halfway.
I'll do like, alright, so 5.
Siete, yeah.
Is it around here?
It's right after this part.
Okay.
Keep going. No, just keep going. Man, those brass hits though, man.
That's crazy. How many people are wearing like ear protection?
No one.
Oh,
No
wow.
one?
I mean, I feel bad sometimes for the win-win players in front of us, because we'll be honking. You know what I mean? Like right here. Oh wait, no, play this.
That's loud
this,
as
this
fuck.
This is my favorite part, or not my favorite part, but this part is fucking epic. Like listen.
Not my favorite part.
Wait, rewind a little bit. Like go back 10 seconds. Listen to the build-up. Listen to the build-up. Dun, dun, dun. Counter melody. Bum, 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 bum. Then you got the strings. Bum, 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 bum. Brass are coming in. Bum, bum, bum. But the strings are going, so you see how it's both parts, and then bum, 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 bum. Then it all kind of comes together. But then listen to the trumpets here. Bum, 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 bum. And then you listen to the strings here. Now they have the counter melody. It kind of switches. The brass had the counter melody, and now. But then listen. All right, this part's pretty epic. Though. Now it's a low brass coming. And now it's the same melody, key change, tempo change.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? It's like very subtle things, but like it makes a difference.
Yeah, now it feels like a different song, kind of.
Isn't?
Okay, and so the part I was describing is the string melody that's about to come up.
Okay, gotcha.
So wait, no one wears any type of ear protection.
I mean, maybe the percussion, but like the thing is, I wouldn't. Like you need. That's the thing though. Like I said, you need to know your part, but you still have to be present in the moment, and you have to be listening to what's going on. You know what I mean?
You gotta listen to other people.
Like
as
yeah,
well.
you can't play in a vacuum. So I feel like ear protection in that setting is like, it's
It's just something you gotta deal with.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think, is it true that the best players
Oh.
almost?
I think it's the bassoon
Here it
first.
comes.
So that's the string melody. Then you hear the
Oh
bassoon
god, this
counter
part is so
melody.
beautiful.
Then the woodwinds come in.
Okay, yeah.
Then strings. Then the horn. Then the clarinet underneath that. You know what I mean? So like, melody and counter melody isn't just an A and B thing. There's melody and then like there's voicings to the melody. You know what I mean? You got to figure out what's supporting what. And really, that's for your own interpretation in a lot of ways, you know? Because to one person, you might really, that horn part might stick out to you, you know? Like to me, the horn part's going to stick out to me, you know what I mean? And I might consider the whole piece like that as that was the melody. My actual favorite
part's
part
really
is coming up. It's the horn solo. I can't lie. It's the fucking horn solo.
This shit's some Bambi shit, bro. Like, this is like the opening of Bambi when like the mom dies.
The bassoon and the cello line here, though, I fucking I love it as a compliment to it. It's just like this. And then listen to bassoon here.
This part makes me feel like Bilbo Baggins walking around like.
No, don't
Alright,
say that, bro.
Horn solo's coming up.
Oh yeah, this went hard.
Oh yeah, this part is cool actually. That part was cool as fuck.
That was me. That was all me.
For real, yeah. I think I even wrote that down somewhere.
And then the brass here. But then now you got the trumpets, and like now there's even clashing between the voices, where the trumpets are coming in, kind of still pushing it forward, and the strings are supporting that. And now look at that. Now you got some interpolation going on between like straight, like 8 notes, quarter notes, 16th notes, and triplets. You know what I mean? And that's what I'll say at the beginning. We'll cut back to it in the beginning. I love that though. After the Jaws thing, just the way it actually plays with like tempo and time, it's pretty cool because in that part, what you got is like straight quarter notes, so like the regular time, but on top of that, the strings have this triplet melody, and then as the horns, we have the offbeats, and so it makes it almost like this march, but like this strange march where it's like the offbeats are an 8th note thing, which are this 1-2, not a 1-2-3, and so like it really feels like the notes are not laying on each other like this, but like this, you know what I mean? It's like, it's genius. Got another horn solo coming in right here. I will admit this is more of an anecdote thing though. At the spring concert, I really fucked this shit up right here. Cause I came in like way early. But the thing is, that's the thing though. That's when you need a conductor. Cause really, I was waiting for and that's the thing. You have to listen. So when playing the piece, I would listen to the clarinet player because they had the first solo, and so I always knew when to come in right after them. And they ate shit, and so I'm like, fuck.
When
It
do I
stopped playing,
go
I
in?
don't know what to do, and I'm looking. I love this part right here though. Now listen here. So, you got the trumpets playing the beginning melody, but then listen to the low brass on top of it. Bum, 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 bam. It's pretty epic. You know what I mean?
Oh, we went through my favorite part, but it's alright. It was just like,
Bro, this shit's.
You should have said something.
Brandon said shit
This shit's
goes
so
hard on
hard.
God.
last
Oh,
note. This is the
that's-
last note.
And it is beautiful how it lingers.
Is it tough to get to linger like that?
Yeah, really, 'cause
it's like quiet.
It's a decrescendo. It's like
Yeah.
like the way it's written. It's like this very strong, and it should really just decrescendo into nothing. Where
Oh,
it's like,
sorry.
how the fuck do you do that? Like really, like how the like really?
How do you like fade out?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
help with that. Shut the fuck up.
Our orchestra
Was
teacher.
that sublime?
No, it wasn't. It was not sublime.
our orchestra teacher told us that we could probably get as loud as like a professional orchestra,
Whoa.
but we can't get as soft as a professional orchestra because that's where it's
That's
like
actually
really
hard. Yeah.
that's where your dynamic range really like it tests your ability to play soft and tiny.
I don't know how
Wow.
it is for a string play, because I imagine it being difficult because you really have to move the bow like controlled and slow, and it's more of like, you know, when you come back up, you know, you're just keeping that pace. As a wind player, it's more like controlling that airstream to really be like little like snail pace.
Do you
because-
feel pretty grateful for like your time swimming then, like
No, it
your
really-
lung
it went-
capacity?
It went hand in hand in
Mhm.
a lot of ways. Like, really, I couldn't do either one without the other. It felt it was really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So like not being able to be as like quiet as like a professional orchestra, is that saying like, were they saying like, you guys got a big dick, but you can't fuck?
Yeah, that's literally like because like there's no nuance, there's no subtlety to it. At a certain point, like you play an instrument long enough, anyone can play loud and obnoxious.
Mm.
But can you actually like convey something? And sometimes to convey it, you have to be quiet. You know, it's like it's not about playing loud. It's not about being heard. You know what I mean? That's the thing. A lot of like young players are just trying to be heard, which I get. But that's what it is. You got to know your role, and
It's
that
like
takes some
acting.
sort of like level of understanding and maturity to like actually approach
For
it.
real.
Can we go to the beginning of the fourth movie?
Yeah. Oh, so apparently it was actually Jalen who said clipped and sent to Twitter, not
Oh.
Brandon. So
We're done for.
Oh, sorry about that.
we're done for.
Obviously, Josh. Did you guys think that when you first?
Yeah.
I actually didn't.
Yeah.
I did not
Really?
think that. No.
Shut the fuck up.
I didn't. I did legit. Like actually, I didn't. Fuck you, bitch.
Did any of it remind you of like Sublime?
Yeah. The parts where it was like bum 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 bum. Any legato?
Bro, this shit's like
Staccato?
so
Sorry,
Western. It
staccato.
sounds like cowboys and shit. This shit.
Like, yeah, you could ride a horse to this right now.
Yeah.
You know what
For
I mean? That's another thing too. So it starts out with the trumpets in the third and fourth horn, kind of all in the same voicing. Then those trumpets jump in an octave, fucking works. And that's another thing too. So now it's like, and that's what's interesting about the fourth movement is like it really presents the theme as like you know it's swinging this big dick around, you know, of this theme. But then it like really passes it to every single like section of the orchestra in a lot of
No,
ways.
every section's got a big dick.
like really, this is the finale right here. You know, I think it's like it's just like I don't know.
That'd be
All
a
right, so the part I was talking about is about to come up.
Hmm.
So listen to the strings, but then listen to like the brass in the background.
That's kind of like
Bum,
Sublime.
Bum, bum, bum. But on a triplet.
Oh my god. What instrument is that right there?
The oboe and the flute.
Mm.
And that's another thing too. You got to think in terms of like a ratio. For one brass player, there's probably at least 5 or 6 string players, and so it's to me I always found that kind of interesting. Where it's like, I don't know. Every string, every wind part kind of counts. You know what I mean? You can't really. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of the wind players, they didn't like orchestra. A lot of wind players didn't like orchestra for that reason. But I really liked it for that reason because I felt like you could actually contribute. Like if you're just in your group, you know, it's just like, I don't know. It's harder to actually, you know, present something. I don't know what exactly I'm trying to say. Great clarinet solo too. I actually really like the other clarinet solo like later on in the piece. Man, it's beautiful.
Oh my god, this part is good. This part is really good. Oh yeah, this part's good. Dang.
So, what would you say was the melody versus the counter melody here? Listen to the strings and the brass.
That's the counter melody. And that's the melody. I said the dun 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 dun. Is that the counter melody? That's the counter melody. That is.
Hot cross buns. This is hot cross buns. Boom, boom.
Oh,
Hot
Kate said
buns.
that too when we were listening to this. This part right here, yeah. That's crazy.
Now it's just a listening part.
For real.
But if you want to
Dvorak
listen
listening
to it,
part.
right? It's just
It's
like
fun.
I don't know. I think it's, you know how you said that he was brought here literally to make like American orchestra music. I don't know. I think that's so cool because I feel like this is it would influence everything that would become what you like identify with America. Like everything about it. Like it set a standard. I mean, I can't really say that for sure because I'm not. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But everything I'm hearing, it feels like it set a standard. Like it feels like movies, like the movies, like I can't separate them because like they took from this. Like they became this grand and this like this. It's just so. It's so much. It's so big, bro. It's a big dick. Bro, it's a big dick.
well, that's also why I wanted to pick this performance of it too from Leonard Bernstein, who in my opinion, you know, is one of the great American conductors, composers. You know, it's like in terms of the lineage and the legacy, you know what I mean?
I like how it's like Western and Star Wars, and it's Harry Potter too, which is I guess British, but fuck them. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's the New World Symphony for you, man. You know?
That was crazy.
I really enjoyed.
That was a
I really
thank you.
enjoyed playing it and having you describe the different instruments that were going on in time. That was really fun.
Like I said, there's a long period I wanted to be like an orchestra conductor, a band director, and that's how you got to think. You got to think holistically, like you got to be able to like not even hear, but you have to know the people's parts. You know what I mean? And it's like knowing the pieces like that, man. To me, I like that shit. You know, because then I think about it, and it's like I might be conducting like this, but I'm not even thinking about the part that might be like watching this. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Like, it really is like this thing of like a relationship with the orchestra where like then you look at them, you know, and you gotta like, I'm conducting the strings right here, but I'm looking at the brass right here. Come on. You know, it's fun.
Bro, we need a shirt where you conduct, bro. That'd be so fucking cool.
I want CDs with Anthony commentary on them.
Album liner.
For real.
We'll do a commentary one day on something, you know what
For
I
real.
mean? I'll do like a sports style play-by-play on the Dvorak New World Symphony.
I feel like it would make for good trailer music.
Yeah,
I
like
could see a trailer made with.
it's so there's
theme
so
or
much
something.
diverse like stuff. I feel like even just like that the brass melody at the beginning of this one, but then you could even for a different type of vibe just go for like that brass chorale from the second movement, you know. But even the beginning of the third movement too can work as an introduction to a trailer. Da 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 da. So it's great, you know what I mean? It's rich. It's rich in material. It's rich in like really we just talked in a sense still surface level about it. You know what I mean? Like I talked a lot about like the technical side of it,
how does it make you feel? You know what I mean? What does it make you think about? Like, you know, you talked about that. We don't have time to really touch on that, but think about it. You know what I mean? I'm not even saying I'm talking to you guys, but you know, this is forever. We do a podcast. We put it out in the fucking internet. Whoever listens to this, hears this, like, just think about it like that, you know? And that's what it is. You should just try to approach everything like that. Even if it's like for a day or something, just give something 100% of your time and effort and just see what happens. Like, really, what the fuck's gonna happen? You know, life's too short to just like kind of like let things go by. And then that's another thing too. It's like, even on a bad
This part
day,
right here.
you like this part?
Dude, just like shit like this, it's like there's not even like an image in my head. It's literally just like beauty. It's like God. That's one thing I like about classical music is like it's the closest. It's crazy how like music evolved. It's like I started like real like big like classical music was like it's so old, but it's like I think the closest we got to making like music for the gods. And it's like, you know, it's like rock music and stuff. It's like it's fun. It's like corporate, you know. It's like there's a lot of like rap music. There's like a lot of stuff that's fun with it, but like nothing really feels like
I mean,
like actual legit God.
A lot of that stuff was made for the church. You know what I mean? Like, it was just crazy. Sometimes I think about it, like, if I could time travel to see like what church was like back then, it was a whole ordeal. It's a whole production, really, right? Like everything up until like the music, the fashion, like, you know, they all had the highest of the highest.
That one part, yeah.
Shit. Oh yeah. Is it true that like the best players at some point they stopped listening to themselves and they just listened to everyone around them?
I would agree with that.
True? Okay, yeah. But then I'm also thinking at some point you do have to listen to yourself. But maybe you just know like, yeah, I'm hot shit. But let's make sure everybody else is too.
I feel like it's not even like necessarily like, you know, you're hot shit, but like you're confident enough to like, you're not like worried about if you can actually play the notes right. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can do that. Let me see how that actually fits in the pocket now. Like, actually trying to figure out that pocket. And that's the thing too. Like, I've listened and I've been around enough ensembles to see, hear, experience like good players but not a good ensemble. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's playing but they're in their own world. You really, like, your goal as an ensemble, as a group, is to create a shared world. And that's what it is too. Beyond all this stuff, it's like, why the fuck do we come together? We make stuff together. It's so that we can, you know, for that period of time, step in the same planet as each other, right? And work together and make something. Because there has to be some type of mutual understanding. I think what it is, John, it's trust. You know what I mean? And it's not even necessarily trust in the others. It's trust in yourself. You have to trust in your ability to, you know, contribute in that way, so that when you're listening, it's not even, you're out of your own head. And that's a lot of things too. At least in my own experience with music. You know, it's like one of those battles with the self.
This was my favorite part. No.
This part
I
is
was
epic.
wrong.
Should we start getting into?
Yeah.
Should we start getting to? Should we start getting the rating soon? It's already like 1:30.
Yeah. Let's
Let's
get
start.
on this.
Thank you for recommending that, Anthony.
Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for actually interacting with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Ooh.
you could have just like said like, I didn't even know what to say about it. You know,
I mean-
like, I thought it was cool, but now you guys listened to it. You guys had thoughts and feelings. That's all that matters.
What's
Honestly, after listening to like Loveless and listening to this, I was like, oh, Anthony.
You're saying Kevin Shields isn't like comparable to Dvorak?
What's your?
Bro.
They're both from Europe.
Rhapsody in Blue, you know, Gershwin, he's a G.
For,
And honestly, in a lot of ways, I would consider Rhapsody in Blue to be in a lot of ways, an American piece. Like, but that's the thing too. You got to think about like, even in that span of maybe 20, 30 years between New World Symphony and Rhapsody in Blue, you had the birth of jazz. Like, literally the inception and creation of something revolutionary. And so it's like, you listen to Dvorak and it might, you know, you were making these references, but like, you could also maybe make the argument, understand why it might not connect in the same way. Whereas like, I feel like you listen to something like Rhapsody in Blue and it's like, oh, well, that is just so intrinsically tied to something like jazz that you can understand. Like, that feels American. But like, I wouldn't say that one is more better than the other, because in a sense they're both kind of doing different things. Rhapsody in Blue is only one piece. There's no movements to it or anything. It's just like a 17-minute song. I love Rhapsody in Blue though. You
I
know?
like the short.
Sure, yeah. Alright, so ratings.
Ratings.
wants to go first?
I don't know how I would rate that, but it makes me want to listen to more classical music. Like, I think it's a
Definitely
good
should. Oh, yeah.
introduction to something
Definitely.
like that. It's just fucking epic. Like,
If you like this, you should listen to Tchaikovsky's Fourth Symphony. I really like that one. Also, the Fourth and Fifth Symphony. The Fifth Symphony, the second movement, probably has like the greatest horn solo ever written. And I'm not even just exaggerating. Like the piece is literally a horn solo. Like, it's kind of crazy that he did that, but it's beautiful. Sorry, didn't mean to.
how would you, who would you recommend listening? Like, could you send a link to the group chat
Sure.
for
sure.
that? Or, like,
I would like I said, I'll recommend a piece. I said your best bet always is to try to find a Leonard Bernstein arrangement or like conduct
That one, remember that one time when we were making FAP? We came back here to take a break and she has that
Yeah.
one Leonard Bernstein song. Bro, I got so obsessed with that for like a solid week. I downloaded the song and I took this one like 30-second part of the song and would like listen to it sped up. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. That part is so sick.
Overture to Candide.
Candice.
If you played it for me, maybe.
He was like,
It's like the,
I'm gonna use the restroom real
the
fast.
ending,
yeah, it's kind of like the ending.
it starts like da 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 da
Oh, yeah.
da, and then there's the horn melody. Da dee da dee da dee da 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 dee dee da da dee da da.
I'd have to listen to it. I'll probably listen. Rating is classic.
Man, that's what I was gonna
Like-
say, man.
Yes.
Motherfucker.
To me, well, it's like one of my favorite pieces. So I don't know. I would say it's a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
Also, I don't.
Fucking straight perfect.
Wait, maybe it's not straight perfect because it doesn't have jazz in it. Like, and that's not his fault. It's just the fault.
It's not Tame Impala, but it's not Tame Impala.
It's like those memes of like the Beatles playing just random music that people will play over it.
Oh, yeah.
Mozart wasn't shit. He couldn't play this. And it's like some anime opening. But still, I think it's great, and I think it's like a low key piece.
Oh,
If
shit.
you say your favorite orchestra symphony is the New World, people will be like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
Shout out.
that's what I would if someone told me that. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
yeah. Like if you said like your favorite symphony was like
Like the Nutcracker, I can
Holy
get.
shit.
You know, as mainstream.
the Nutcracker or even like the William Tell overtures and like
Yeah,
it's like alright, I
Yeah.
get it.
But you fuck with Dvorak?
Yeah,
Fuck with the Dvorak.
that's literally what someone commented. Yo.
Oh yeah. On the Instagram post, somebody said, "Yo, the legendary Czech composer Dvorak." Yo, guys, it's 1:32 a.m. and we have 5 viewers. What the fuck's up?
Shout
And
out.
Jeffrey
What's up?
Simkin, your
Yo,
coworkers,
Jeffrey's
he
here?
put fire emotes. Yeah.
Jeffrey, when'd you get here, bro? Shout out to Jeffrey.
For real,
Jeffrey,
what's up, dog?
Jeffrey actually, he'd like to be on the music podcast at some
Sure.
point.
Yeah.
He's a big David Bowie fan, so he
Okay.
wants to
Oh
come,
yeah.
he wants to put us on. Or,
I also I forgot to mention that this symphony was taken up into fucking space
No way.
in like the Apollo. Neil Armstrong took it.
That's lit. That's
I
pretty
forgot if he
dope.
played it or not. Maybe he was just like, I want to die with it. But just like iconic events like that,
Mhm.
and it's just there. So I like it. El Clasico.
All right. So ratings. What'd you give it, Owen?
I give it it's a Humphrey Bogart out of 10. It's so
What the fuck?
American. You can't dispute that that's like one of the most American fucking things you ever heard. But it's not American technically,
Mm-hmm.
because Humphrey Bogart's German, or like he comes from German ancestry. He was born in New York, first generation. But yeah, he's a Humphrey Bogart out of 10, which makes it pretty damn good album, I'd say so.
Man, I was gonna give this a classic, just a classic out of classic. It's a classic, but I guess if I can't give it a classic, I'll say that this, the symphony right here, it's like, How many parts you say there were? 23.
Yeah.
23.
So out of 23 parts, you know what I mean. Every part is kind of, I think, operating at the highest level. So I got to give it a 23 out of 23.
Dang.
Were we talking about the whole symphony though, or like the fourth movement?
Whole symphony.
Yeah, the whole
Oh,
symphony.
okay. Fourth movement is a 10 out of 10. The whole symphony is maybe like a 7.
I have a show.
What the fuck, John?
It's funny.
All right, Norby.
Oh yeah. So if you guys remember, I'm doing it out of 5, and it's mostly in terms of like how I enjoyed it or how significant it was to me. So like 1 is like didn't mean anything. 3 is like I'll listen to it again. 4 is like I'll definitely listen to it again. 5 is like I want to listen to this all the time. I would probably give this like a 3.5. 3.5 out of 5.
What happened to chords?
That was Elijah's thing. He gave fucking Lovelace a fucking C major bar chord, and he thought it'd be a fucking good idea. Okay, so we're all rated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some water. I'm thirsty.
Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen.
Who recommended this one?
Fucking Elijah.
Yeah, I've wanted to listen to Leonard
Say,
Cohen
I'm
for a
gonna go
while.
I definitely like what's the name of the first song?
Suzanne. It's very like folky.
Yeah. I did a little just mild research into it, and it seems like that was like his scene for a while. Like he got really like he was gonna go to Nashville, but then he got caught up with like the New York folk scene out there. It's like that's interesting, you know.
Cause this came out in like the early 70s.
Oh, I thought it was like the late 60s.
Oh, it was the late
68
60s.
or
Oh fuck,
69.
I'm fucked up. Which one did you listen to? The one you were talking about.
It's the one that has the Nowhere in the title. It's with Neil and Crazy Horse. I mean, I listened to the songs of Neil Young for the podcast, but I guess for those listeners out there, let's see. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of recommended it because was it when we went to see Nope that the trailer for Leonard Cohen? There was the Leonard Cohen trailer, or was that not when we saw Nope?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. It might not have been for Nope, but if it wasn't Nope, it was when I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, and people talk fondly of him. It seems, I don't know. I kind of just like. This came to mind. I threw it in there. It wasn't like not too much intention behind it.
That's all right.
Just wanted to hear it.
Don't be embarrassed.
I think it's pretty good though. Like,
I'm contemplating if I should have another beer or not.
I'll have one if you have one.
Dang. All right,
Peer
let's
pressure.
go get one.
Okay.
Let's pull those out of here. This one dropped on the floor. So.
Oh, okay.
Actually, we should get some water too. Let's let everybody know in the podcast. Yo, sorry, we're gonna actually get some water ourselves. I don't know if there's ever been an episode where it's just been completely empty. I feel kind of bad about it. Oh, I have a water right here. I guess if you want to get a water, I'll keep everyone entertained. Alright, let's see what's going on in the chat. Jeffrey Blunt. Leonard Cohen was a boomer. Was boomer music, but pretty enjoyable. I guess that's true. Elwood. Good, I'm not alone. When was the last time you felt alone, Elwood?
It was the other night. I couldn't sleep. But like I was like asleep, but I wasn't. But it was like I was laying in bed, and it was like I was asleep, but my body wasn't, because it felt like I had a fart, but I was too scared that if I farted, I was gonna shit myself. So I remember like I had to, but I was like freaking out in my dream because I was like, it felt like I was like torn in half because I was like here, but I wasn't. And I remember like, I had to grab my bed and I was like, I'm here. But then when I was finally done, I was like, but I'm alone.
Bro, speaking of dreams, I had the craziest dream. Like, like this had to be like Saturday night,
shoot.
Sunday, something.
Did it like feel like real?
It was I don't know if it was lucid dreaming or what, because I have a question for you guys though. So when you guys dream, are you always yourself, or like are you ever other people?
Sometimes other people, but mostly it's like, yourself, perspective.
Okay, so in this dream, I was 3 other people.
At the same time?
Like you
In the
look
same
down
dream.
and you're like, I'm.
No, it was like it was a movie. It was a fucking movie. Okay, so it starts out, I'm like this prisoner. I'm like this short, stocky guy, and imagine my face is like covered in acne scars. I got this thinning hair, whatever. And I'm just like in there, I'm locked up.
Fuck.
Dog.
What just happened?
to you?
Did you say dog?
You.
Like dog.
Damn, what did I do with the beers? I think we left them.
They're in the
I got
refrigerator.
you.
Yeah.
But fucking okay, so I'm this prisoner, and like I'm basically walking through this prison, and they're putting me in my cell, but I'm being guided by this fucking. He's like a mix between I don't know what you call the people in charge of the jail, like some type of correctional officer.
Like a warden?
Yeah, like a warden.
Okay.
He's like in between a warden though, and like Arkham Asylum, like one of those like weird like scientists that like a mental ward scientist person who would experiment on the patients, like a lobotomist or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And this guy looked fucking weird as fuck. He had these glasses, circular glasses, black, and he had this stringy hair, and he was kind of like, he looked like his body shape was kind of like the fucking purple guy from McDonald's.
Oh, bro,
You know what I mean?
Human Centipede 2.
Yeah, he looked like that.
Human
fucking
Centipede 2?
guy. Like the
Like
specifically
scientist,
that
like
one?
the scientist.
Okay.
And so this guy's fucking leading me into my cell. And then it's like a time jump. So cut to, we're in the jail, and now I'm the fucking scientist though, man. And I'm walking these FBI agents through the fucking jail, and they're like inspecting everything, asking questions and all that. I'm just answering the questions. And then we find out that me as the prison guy had escaped. And we don't really know why. No one's able to figure it out. Except there's this one fucking agent who's a little kind of just like a bit of a dick, but he's a little sharper than everyone else. And he's just looking around. And he looks up, and like there's like this little vent. But the vent was like, this is like dream logic, bro. The vent was probably like 2 of these. Like, that's how big the vent was. But it was open, and then it's like, oh shit, did he escape through there? Then boom, cut to like a flashback, and it's me back as the security guard, or as the prisoner. Hands cuffed. And I break my left arm in like 3 different places, like my fist, my elbow, and like my fucking shoulder. Like I guess to get my hand out to fucking like the
Handcuff?
the handcuff. And so now with my right arm, I jump up and I grab, because the vent is like has a grate over it, and so I'm on the grate, and I'm able to like pull up my legs, and I start fucking biting at this fucking grate. And my teeth are fucked up, and my mouth is fucking bleeding. Everything is bleeding, and and then I crawl through, and it's just like shit. It's like sewer shit. It's like Gog for Lucifer, but like worse. You know, like and I end up on the other side of this jungle, and I'm all bleeding, and my arm is broken. It's like, and then all right, cut back now, and I'm the agent. I'm this FBI agent, dude, right? And I'm trying to figure out this fucking shit that's going on, and then. So now I'm on the hunt for the prisoner version of me, and we end up at like some tropical island. I forgot to mention this when I told you the story. And basically, for some reason, me as the prisoner, I end up like in water, and like there's a plane that's like shooting at me.
Oh,
It's the
shit.
FBI agent and all that. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, it cuts back, and now I'm the scientist guy. And for whatever fucking reason, I'm like in some lab, and I turn myself into a shark, but not like a great white shark, like a baby shark, like a 2 foot long shark.
Like out of the water or in the water?
I don't know. Okay, again, dream logic. So for whatever reason, I turn into a shark and I end up in the water, right? And so FBI me is trying to kill prisoner version me, and I end up escaping prisoner version me. Cut to like a little bit later, and for some reason, me as the FBI agent, I'm at like some tropical resort, like a hotel. And I'm walking through this hotel, and it really is like a beachside resort. And I go through like this pool area and all that until I end up at the beach. And I'm at the beach, and I'm walking in the water, and guess who I see? The fucking shark, dude! And I pull this guy out there, and for some reason, I don't know if I can understand him, or if he's just able to talk, but he's saying all this shit. And again, dream logic here. I don't know exactly how this happens, but shark scientist, FBI bro, combined into one person. And so now I got the two brains in my head that are kind of going back and forth at each other. And for some reason now, I go back through this resort in this hotel, and like the shark guy is making FBI guy say like the most offensive shit to literally everyone I come across. Like,
That's funny.
but like the thing about it though, and this is the crazy part, is that for some reason in the dream world it went viral. Like people just started recording me, and it was like a meme, and I became like this walking meme for like saying like, I don't know, just like really bad shit, like I don't know, just like really disrespectful shit. And then I don't know exactly how long it is, or sometime but jump later, maybe still on the resort or whatnot, but it's connected to like Disneyland or something. And so now I'm walking through Disneyland, but now it's like I'm like, you see in Game of Thrones like when she has to do like the shame thing, she's walking through.
Yeah.
Low key, it feels like that though, because I'm walking through and everyone recognizes me for like these viral videos, but for some reason they're compelled when they see me to come up to me and say the most offensive thing they can to my face. And the dream kind of ends with like this little girl coming up and saying like some really inappropriate things to me, and I was just like so uncomfortable. And man, that was a crazy dream. And the thing is though, it's like I had like multiple dreams at night, because I woke up and it was only like 2 o'clock, and I did some stuff and I went back to sleep, and I know I had more dreams, but like, man, dreams.
That's a good one though.
That's a
Fucking
good dream.
when you told me that one part where you guys combined into one, I literally just imagined like a guy like a Men in Black type suit, and then like fucking like half of his head is like has like a fucking big ass shark coming out one side.
What does it mean, guys?
You're worried about going.
Being
You're
racist.
worried about being Dane Stacy. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Hey, no.
When
talk
was
about
this?
that.
Saturday, you said?
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday. Well, I guess the evening of Saturday into Sunday morning.
You're a prisoner breaking free of something.
Man,
True. And a scientist. turning
Freedom.
yourself into a shark.
freedom.
That's the
Freedom.
sequel
And
to-
you swim. You need to swim more.
We gotta hit the pool.
You texted me about swimming. There you go.
Yeah, it was on my mind. You know?
You feel most free in the water.
I guess.
But when you're out of the water, you're like really offensive and rude.
I think maybe it's
Fish
because
out
I
of
feel
water.
like a fish out of water in this world.
Dang.
That's why I asked y'all, what if you feel alone? It's hard to not feel that way sometimes if you feel like a fish out of water. But then that's the thing. If you're a fish out of water, but say you don't even actually have like the understanding of what the water is, it's like, damn, now you're a fish out of water, but maybe you have been able to like recognize that, but you don't actually know what water is. And now you're trying to figure out, what do I actually feel comfortable as, or who am I?
That's a presidential campaign.
It's a presidential campaign. I
Anyway.
gotta open this beer up.
A fish out of water.
All right, the songs
Anthony
of
Lee.
Leonard Cohen. That's my song. Fish out of water.
I would.
No. Don't make me do this.
What's going
Bro,
on
you
in
do
the
it.
chat?
All right, let me read the chat first. All right, let's see. Brandon said Leonard Cohen was boomer music, but pretty enjoyable.
It is boomer.
It is boomer music.
Y'all,
I mean,
I hate when people say it's.
I
boomer
told my
music.
coworker. I told my coworkers that I was listening to this album, and no disrespect for him, but the boomer of the group really lighted up when I said I'm listening to Leonard Cohen.
Bro, my dad fucking also lights up. He's Gen X though.
People love to shit on like music made between like any time before like
It's just boomer.
It's just
music.
like it's just
2015.
I don't know, like boomers and like older Gen X treat it like how millennials treat Rick and Morty.
I had a friend who in high school he was made fun of for not listening to Travis Scott. And then wait, what?
Who was it?
I can't say his name because he might watch this, but he knows who he is.
Oh.
But he said like and then like literally like after all of this happened, like the Travis Scott thing happened at the concert or whatever. When that happened, he went on his spam and put this giant ass fucking essay on one like, fuck all of you, I hate Travis Scott, I never liked Travis Scott.
I'm gonna see the Travis Scott concert in September.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where is it gonna be?
In Vegas. He has a residency here. At some club if you want to come. I don't know.
Are you going to Kendrick?
Are the ticket?
Yeah,
where
I'm
are the
going to Kendrick
tickets?
too. Since it is a club, it's kind of funny. So it's $125 for guys, and it's $75 for chicks.
That's not bad though.
Wow.
To see like Travis.
Yeah, especially
Scott.
like right now in like the midst of everything, because like it's called the Road to Utopia sort of thing, because that's the name of his next album, Utopia. So I'm kind of excited. But the next week after that, maybe Keem's gonna be there. I'm gonna go to that one.
That'd be fun. What do you have to? Is it like? Is there like a dress code?
I don't know what you wear to the club. I'd probably wear this. Like, I wear this and I put a Hawaiian shirt on top of it.
Yeah.
The Hawaiian
Anthony
shirts.
getting all the
You got me
bitches.
into the Hawaiian shirts.
I got fun fact, funny story. In high school, my sophomore year, I just started wearing Hawaiian shirts, and by Allstate, fucking everyone was wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Dang.
I'm not saying I was a trendsetter, but like low key, like I was just feeling Hawaiian shirts. And I
When are we
think,
going to Hawaii?
man, it's gonna happen. We can't. It'll be hard right now because they're still pretty strict about the COVID shit. But man, before we even go to Hawaii, we gotta go to Seattle.
Yeah.
We gotta film.
Rotten
Rotten
Pavement.
Rotten Pavement.
That'd be fun as fuck.
What else is in the chat though?
Quite a bit. Jeffrey said, "What's next on the list of music review tonight?" Question mark. Gus said, "Nightmare farts, bruh." I don't know what that means.
Nightmare farts.
I really don't understand.
Nightmare bubble guts.
No, that was Elwood right there.
Oh, what'd you do? Did you fart in my mic?
No, bro, the other night, bro, because Anthony actually was letting me fit alone, and I was like, oh, the other night I was trying to go to sleep, but I was half asleep, half
Don't
awake.
do it. Don't say it.
What?
Just don't say what I think you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
I
Did
wanna
you
hear.
fart and you woke yourself
No,
up?
no, no.
Okay.
So I was asleep. I was like half asleep. Like my brain was asleep, but my body wasn't, because I felt like I had a fart. But I felt like if I were to fart, I was gonna shit myself.
Oh.
So I couldn't peacefully sleep.
That sucks.
So but then like I was freaking out like in my head, like I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna fucking shit myself. I had to like grab my fucking bed, like grab it hard like that and be like, I'm here until I calmed down, and I fell asleep.
There you go.
Yeah, nightmare farts.
That's never happened to me before. Let's see. Brandon said Warden. Yup. And then he said, "Oh God, not Human Centipede too." And he said that movie got me traumatized. Now nothing can faze me. And he said this Anthony dream is way too dank. And then Brandon said goofy ad dream logic. Then Brandon said you are your greatest enemy, Anthony. That is the dream's meaning. Then Jalen said gotta sleep 'cause work in the morning. It was good watching y'all. See ya later, Jalen.
Have a good
Peace
night,
out,
Jalen.
Jalen.
What does Jalen do for work?
She works at Old Navy.
Old Navy.
Jeffrey said, "Bro, I had that type of fart 5 minutes ago, but I'm wide, but I'm wide awake."
No, Jeffrey.
And then Jalen said something that was, Jen said something that's cool earlier, and I forgot to say it. She said, "Anthony, you are a good motivator. I feel like I'm seeing a therapist once a week in a good way."
Well, hey, that's what it's about. Inspiring the people out here. Nothing is done by one person. Takes a village.
For the culture.
It's for the
For the
culture.
Alright, maybe
We
should-
are culture.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't
Um,
say for the culture.
Rap the new rock
Kendrick.
and roll.
Was it?
And I'm the biggest rock star. I'm sorry.
No, it's just a Kendrick line. Not any other affiliation with anything else.
Alright,
but
so
anyway,
how do we even start? I don't know how to.
we
Elijah,
don't-
take it away.
We don't start.
Odo was saying maybe we should do it next week.
Honestly, should we just do one album a week?
Maybe.
Yeah, I thought about
Maybe.
that. It's just because we just started so late.
Yeah, we
you
always
know
start
what I
so late.
mean?
It was tough. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
No,
too.
no, you're fine.
It's
you're
No, no,
good.
fine.
it's not even that. It's like even
It's just. Well, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say even when we would have started, it still would have been starting late.
I mean, low key too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like satisfied, like what we talked about in the first one. It's like it's not. I feel like it's
It
different
feels
with
good.
yeah, like with
Mhm.